CQ40, CQ40 meters, CQ40, CQ40 meters, CQ40, CQ40 meters, CQ, Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo, call in CQ40 meters, Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo, call in CQ, any stations, anywhere. CQ40 meters, CQ40 meters, CQ40 meters, CQ, Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo, call in CQ, Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo, call in CQ40 meters, any stations, anywhere.
Kilowatt Zero, RWB, what whiskey?
Kilo Zero, Juliet X-ray.
Kilo Zero, Juliet X-ray, is that Dennis there? Go ahead. Let me try it again. Was it a Kilo Zero, Juliet X-ray? Nothing heard. QRZ, try it again, please. Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo, call in CQ40 meters. QRZ, any stations, anywhere?
Kilo Delta Zero, November Bravo Foxtrot.
Okay, the Kilo Delta Zero, question mark?
Delta Zero, November, Bravo, Foxtrot.
Okay, I got you that time. Kilo Delta Zero, November, Bravo, Foxtrot. Chris, good evening. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Well, not too bad, considering I'm in Bate City and you're in Overland Park. We're probably no more than 30 miles away from each other.
You know, the funny part is I'm remoted into my uncle's Flex radio. So I'm actually coming to you from Houston Lake.
Well, okay. Even better. I was going to say, boy, that'd be a great trip for 39 miles, but hey, we'll take whatever distance we can here. Oh, that's too great. Well, I appreciate it. Again, the name here is Randy. We're over in Bate City, 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City there. Go ahead.
Oh, that's fantastic, Randy. Hey, if you want to have some fun, I'll switch over to my Flex 6600 at my home station and see if I can work you off my 40-meter loop. What I'm operating on is a Flex 6300 with a 160-meter full-wave loop.
Wow, how about that? Well, you know, again, that's one thing I do like about working 40 meters. It's amazing. And the Yaesu FTDX10, and we've got a 40-meter dipole on the side of the tower, about 38 foot. We've got one leg pointed to Washington State, and the other one's pointed towards San Diego. So not your conventional setup on the dipole, but it seems to be working for us. We've got the rig paired with the Heil PR781, and we're running about 650 watts on the ACOM amp. That's about it there, Roger.
Yeah, copy that. Well, it's definitely working for you. I'm doing 80 watts on the 250. And I'm going to try and work you with my 6600. I'm going to switch on over there. So I'll see you in about 30 seconds or so on 7.225.
Yeah, no problem at all, Chris. And the great thing is we're live on YouTube, so we've got you recorded on the 6300, and we'll get you the same way on the other rig as well. It should be nice to see the differences.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to sign for now, and I'll be back shortly.
Yeah, no problem at all. Be happy to. Hey, Steve, good evening to you, and to Todd as well. Nice to see you guys here on the chat. Got some, I don't know if it shows up on the stream or not. We've got some news tonight that should be interesting for a few folks, and we're hoping that here in a little bit we'll get that information out probably around 7 o'clock Central. We're actually early tonight. We had some extra time. we wanted to see if we could work a little bit. It seems like the band had to be in pretty good shape today. So we thought we had a little extra time for the holiday. We'd get out here and call CQ a little bit like usual, see if we can make a few more extra contacts and some repeats as well. This is Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo. We'll take it back to Chris here when he changes his radio out. Let's see if he's in there. Kilo Delta Zero, November Bravo Foxtrot. Chris, did you make your radio change there? Go ahead. Yeah, he's trying just a little bit closer contact. It might be too close for us tonight. Less than 40 miles might be a little tough here on 40 meters. We'll see how it goes, but we'll give him another go around and see if he can make the switch here. Yeah, I'll tell you, Steve comes up with the most unusual call signs and phonetics for different calls. I guess that's what Steve enjoys doing. It is pretty fun sometimes. Nice to hear you. Nice to see you out there, Steve, and again, Todd as well. Hopefully he'll get his power supply fixed and get Todd back on the air there. We'll try it one more time, see if Chris is in there. Kilo Delta Zero, November Bravo Foxtrot. You're on the 6300 to see if it works on the 6600 there in Overland Park. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, this is Kilo Delta Zero, November Bravo Foxtrot, coming back at you from Overland Park, Kansas. This is the Flex 6600 with the 40-meter loop. So, gotta know which one has better audio.
I like Overland Park. It's a little bit brighter. The signal's 10 over. And, well, I'm able to copy on both. The other one, you're about 5 and 7. Of course, you got some distance. Now we're just this close. You could almost probably throw a rock to each other. But, yeah, you're 10 over 9, and nice signal audio is right in there as well, Chris.
Yeah, I have you coming in hotter as well. I have you 10 over 9, and your audio is just amazing. It sounds great.
Well, I wish I could take credit for it, but I had a lot of people to help, starting off with Bob Heil. It's his microphone, but did have a few different operators who were kind enough to let me borrow some of their settings initially, and then we kind of worked off of that. But I'd say we've got it set where we'd like to keep it, and it seems to work for us. Again, this would be a good challenge for you, and a good chance to look at it. I said we're doing the live streamer on YouTube. It's my channel, it's my call, Chris. So if you want to give a look and listen between the 63 and where you're at now, and see how your audio is, don't take my word for it. Give it a look and a listen, and see what you think there, Roger.
Yeah, copy that. Let me get your call sign one more time. I was just having fun talking to you, and I didn't write it down.
No problem at all. No problem. It's Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo. K0, red, white, and blue is the call. Also, if you go to my QRZ page, we've got a link that takes you to the channel. Or, again, you can go right to YouTube, put in my call in the search bar. And, of course, you'd look for the video with today's date. That'll have it live as well. And you're roughly the first one, so you can take from ground zero to 10 minutes in. That's about where we got started, plus a couple pauses there, Roger.
Yeah, copy that. Well, that's really cool. I'm going to have to reach out to you via email and figure out how you're doing that. I think that's the bee's knees right there.
Oh, you want all my secrets out? Well, not a problem. Well, the other thing we like doing as well is we're able to take our radio display, and that's actually on the channel. So you'll see a small, unfortunately, there's a webcam pointed at me. You get to see my smiley face. But the majority of the screen is actually the display of the radio, the FTDX10. So we've got the oscilloscope up. You can also see the audio pattern as well. So you can kind of see your peaks and valleys on your audio. If there's any reasons or anything that you'd like to make a change, it would certainly give you an idea if you want to add or subtract. What I did notice is I see some peaks and valleys on the audio. That's kind of what we're looking for. I mean, we're only working with 3 KC, so you kind of work the best you can. But, again, this gives an opportunity to see your signal strength and see what the audio looks like, plus to hear what it is on the air as well.
Yeah, that's really cool. On the Flex, I'm seeing local here. Noise floor is minus 105 dB, minus 105 dB. What's it on your end?
Well, I've got some background noise around here. Somebody's playing Jingle Bells or something. So the only thing I can tell you, I've got a noise floor just about 3 to 4 S units, but it's nothing that's not too manageable. Again, 40 meters is hardly ever quiet. I think I've only had a handful of times where it's been just handful quiet. Otherwise, there's noise and there's static crashes, and it's just stuff that you learn to live with. But it really hasn't stopped us from making any contact, so we'll deal with it when we have to there, Roger.
Yeah, copy that. I'm also running my 6600 in diversity receive mode, and my other antenna is it's a vertical, but it only goes up to 20 meters. But on that, you're an S8, so I'm watching you on both of them. You're plus 10 on the 40-meter loop. So anyways, it's kind of neat. All this technology, it's just amazing what's available to us today. Roger?
Oh, no doubt. And it certainly, to me, it tells me how healthy the hobby is, because we've got all this new equipment coming out, and I don't think manufacturers would invest a lot of R&D and production for equipment that nobody would buy. So, because there's just a plethora of used equipment out there. I mean, you know, the radios that are 30 years old still work. They are designed to transmit and receive, no different than the ones today. Now, there's different filtering and those kind of things. I get it, but it does tell me that the manufacturers are making great equipment, new advances to the equipment, just because the hobby is in good health. At least that's my take on it there, Roger.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. You know, the company I'd like to see make a comeback and make a solid comeback would be Tech. I'd like to buy some new gear from them. I've never owned any of their stuff, but I heard back in the day they were just made really, really good equipment. But I don't know. I don't know if they're ever gonna. They seem to want to try, and then it just, I don't know if they're not getting enough orders or what the deal is, but they're just not putting anything out. Roger?
Yeah, I certainly understand. I will say this, the Orion equipment they came out was really good. I have one of Tentec's amplifiers, an old Tentec Hercules 2, solid state amp, and it's a 12-volter, so it's really great to take portable, and it's just a workhorse. You know, you can't drive a living daylights out of it. It's a 500-watt amp, but, you know, I'll take it any day. I use it down in our alternate shack, which we call Studio B, thanks to my friend Todd. He's named the two different shacks. We're in Studio A right now. Studio B is downstairs. We run the same rig down there, are tied into the same antennas, Chris, but we use the other amplifier versus this one. And, yeah, I love the old Tentec amplifier. It works really, really good for us, and it's just been a real workhorse. We did have the opportunity to upgrade a year ago to this amplifier here, so we certainly did that. But whenever we do a portable, 9 times out of 10, the Tentec amplifier comes right along with us, and we run it off of 2 deep cycle marine batteries, and it'll just plug away for the next 5 and 6 hours. No problem at all there, Roger.
Holy cow. So you can get, did you say it was a 500-watt amp and you can get 5 or 6 hours out of it?
Yeah, I usually, when I do a portable, I'll take 3 marine batteries. One battery runs the radio, it'll run the laptop, and usually an extra monitor. And then we take the other 2 batteries, run them in series, and those 2 deep cycle marines batteries run that thing for a good 5 or 6 hours running. I mean, the peak on the amp's about 5.5. So, you know, to set it around conservatively around 450, 500, it'll just lope along, no problems whatsoever.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That sounds like a real cool park on the air setup where you just back up to a picnic bench and set up your gear.
Well, I'll tell you what, you want to send me an email, I'm good in QRZ. Either send me a number or I'll send you one back. We'll have a nice little conversation. I'll give you the lowdown on the portable setup. You might be surprised, especially on the antennas that we use and how successful we are. But yeah, it's really been a lot of fun, and we did it. We've done it several times this year. The last one was around the 1st of August out in Colorado. We were in Colorado Springs for about 10 days and ran portable every night. Again, we've got many different videos. You could go back and look around the August time frame. You can actually see me running portable with all the really nice pine trees in the background, sitting at 7,000 feet elevation and so forth. But I'd certainly give you a lowdown on that, so it wouldn't be a problem. Hey, thanks for doing the switch for us. I know we've got a few others out there. Check us out on the live stream and see what you think. I really like the way that 6600 sounds good. The other one, I'm not discounting it, but there certainly is a difference, and I think you'll be able to hear and see the difference as well, Chris. But I do appreciate you coming back to the call. Again, it's a little early. We usually start about 7 o'clock Central, but we did have some time tonight. Thought we'd give it a go and have some fun at the meantime. But we're generally out here in the evenings, Chris, so if you hear us again, by all means, give us a call. Usually when we're here on 40 meters, we're live streaming on YouTube as well, so you can always check out the channel and kind of get an idea where we're at on the frequency band. So you and yours have a great night, and the rest of the week as we get started. 7-3s, have fun down there. I think you said you're running this thing remote as well, so sounds like a lot of fun on your end. Maybe I need to talk to you about running remote, and I'll talk to you about how I run my portable. So should be a good time. Anyway, 7-3 for now, and by all means, look for us again. Kilo Delta 0, November Bravo Foxtrot, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. Thank you, Chris. 7-3s.
Yeah, 73 is Randy.
Okay, let's see if Steve is out there. Kilo 0, Jamaica X-rated Nagasaki. You see, he wanted me to work him in. Let's see if Chris is out in the St. Louis area there. Are you, not Chris, but Steve. Steve, are you out there? K0RWB, back to you.
Kilo 0, Juliet, X-rated Nagasaki. How are you there, red, white, and blue, Randy?
I don't know where you come up with those things, but okay. I had to make sure I get in there at some point. Thank you for giving us a heads up on the chat. Nice to hear you. Sounding good as always. The bands have been pretty darn good today. We've been up and down on 15 meters. Heard some activity on 12, didn't call out or anything. And of course, at 20 has been doing his thing and quite a bit on 17. But since it was kind of a holiday, we didn't start to do anything out in the shop today, took our time, and I said, we're just going to come out get out here on the air a little bit early and see what happens there. Go ahead.
Roger, roger. Hey, I got a few things for you. Got a shout out for you from Alex, W7 Hotel Uniform. He said to say, hey.
Well, that was nice of him. I've talked to him once, and when he was on doing his 15, and then he started 15 again just a little bit ago. I went over to the channel and listened to it. I didn't want to call him again because I know there was others out there, and I had to work him once, Steve, because I don't have him on 15 meters. So we got that one out of the way. But yeah, I know he's out there. He's been plugging away pretty good, and he's going to be helping me here in a little while, and a few other guys as well. That's kind of the big news we've got going tonight, which we're going to kind of unveil at 7 o'clock to let some folks know that are actually watching and listening to us on the YouTube thing. We've got something that's coming up. Should be fun for everybody there, Roger.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I got a lot of time to talk tonight. The warden sent me down. She said, go down to your shack and don't come back up until I come get you. So I got a little time on my hands. So we're going to talk a little bit. You know, we talked the other day about your ammo was really, really strict. And, you know, I call out my call sign. You know, I'm chasing a lot of these parks on there. I love doing that. And a couple of these old guys, they got quite offended. And they said, please use the proper nasophonicks, please. Over.
I can understand that, and I can see it both ways. Again, I would like to think we're all adults, and you can handle it however you see fit. I can certainly understand. There was a big uproar when they took the code test away. I can understand that as well. So I'm just I kind of float in between. The only thing I do different with mine, as you've probably heard, is I do say radio instead of Romeo. And that's kind of mixing it up. And then I just have a little fun when I do red, white, and blue, but I always make sure my call's that way. However it works for you, I'm totally okay with. I see both sides of it. You can have some fun with it, but I also see the other side of it as well. So I kind of think it's kind of live and let live there. Steve, go ahead.
Well, you know, I agree to some point. You know, when it's time to be serious, I get serious. But, you know, I think if we have a little fun on the radio, we might get some younger people involved and, you know, and still follow the proper FCC, you know, rules and regs and call out our stop call sign like we're supposed to every 10 minutes and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, but sometimes, you know, I would share a little history with you. You know, I don't know if you can tell by my last name that I'm actually from South Louisiana. And if you're not familiar with the little hometown that I'm from, it's New Iberia. area, and it's famous for Tabasco sauce, if you know what I mean. Over.
Now, I don't know Iberia, Louisiana. I know Iberia, Missouri. Been through there a few times. I didn't know there was one in Louisiana. Probably the one in Louisiana was before the one here in Missouri. I'm not surprised, but you are correct, though. There are certainly times to be to have fun, and there's time to be serious as well. And I think it's a good. I think there's a good mixture of both. I will say one thing. You're right about getting other younger generational type people involved. As long as they know what the actual groundwork is at, and you can always refer back to it, I think we're good. That's the other thing. While me and Alex and Doug in New York and Joe and a few others are doing this, is I've gotten some comments either from live chat or emails and so forth that doing the stream has got some other folks interested because they didn't know this was possible. And then they started asking, well, what else can you do on amateur radio? Some people think you just grab a microphone and talk. Well, you and I know there's digital modes, there's there's FT8 and there's RTTY and there's CW, and I mean, it just list goes on and on. So if it opens up someone's eyes just a little bit to the different dimensions and different things that are done, I can't see that being a bad thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I agree with you. But, like I said, I'd like to see the younger people get in there instead of us old geezers. But, my sense of humor, being a little Cajun, we like to have a lot of fun. And that's got me in trouble a time or two, and I'll tell you a story about that in a minute. Over.
Well, I can't understand how that could happen, really. Are we sure we're talking about the right guy?
Oh, definitely. So, I think I told you, me and the warden, we did 30 years there at Procter & Gamble, and I was a industrial controls electrician. Actually, my proper title was electronics and instrumentation. I don't get all starry-eyed. That's like 2 steps above the guy that changes the light bulb in the bathroom. Over.
I know what that. Exactly. I've been there, done that.
Oh, okay. So anyway, downtime's kind of critical. Anyway, I had this new little manager just fresh out of college, and he was a legacy manager because his daddy was a big shot up in the Ivory Towers in Cincinnati. That's how he got the job, not because he was smart. But anyway, so I had a problem. The line went down. I'm working the problem. This guy standing over me right behind my neck there, breathing on my neck. And, how long it's gonna take? How long it's gonna take? You know me. I told him about as long as it takes to catch a fish. Over.
There you go. Why am I not surprised?
So he's there, like a damn little gnat in my ear. Yeah. And he said, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Have you tried this? And I got a procedure, I got steps, check this, check that, check this, check, all that kind of stuff. And I finally turned around and I told him, I believe you're educated beyond your intelligence.
Now that I wish. I've never been told that, but it certainly makes sense. I've never been told I've been overeducated. Maybe a little bit to the reverse, but never to that degree. Maybe I need to kind of revisit. Maybe I can just run it in the wrong crowd.
Oh, anyway, so to finish the story, so he waits until I finish fixing his machine and getting it back up, and he comes get me. And he says, we need to go see the plant manager. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm thinking to myself, okay, Steve done let your mouth overload you again. So there we go. And this is a new plant manager that I hadn't met yet. He's been there about a week. Over.
Oh, great. So you started off great. I'm sure it worked well from that point forward, didn't it?
So, more to the story. So he drags me up there in front of the new plant manager, and he goes through his big old spiel, Steve. He was insubordinate, blah, 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 blah. And the plant manager looks at me, and he says, you're from Louisiana, aren't you? I said, well, yes, sir. He said, well, welcome to the plant. He said, I'm married to a Cajun girl. Over.
Oh, so at that point on, then you guys are probably just like thick as thieves then.
Oh, yeah. So he runs his hands out. He runs his arm out there to shake my hand. He dismisses the little manager. And he calls his secretary and cancels his next appointment. We rag chew for 30 minutes. It was fun. It was a bunch of fun. Needless to say, that little manager, it was priceless to see his jaw drop all the way to the floor. Over.
Oh, that's too funny. That is too funny. I will say this: I've had opportunities to talk with several different operators in Louisiana, and none of them, including yourself, are short on any kind of stories. There's always tons of stories in the back pocket, and I think you're no exception.
Well, I'm known for my shenanigans, I guess is probably the best way to describe it. I had a lot of discretionary time. I usually only got out of my chair and got up when something was broke. I went fixing it, So the day shifters, they had their little offices, and they were all open cubicles, and there were four people to a pod, that's what I call it. And the funny thing, this was really funny. They all, the night shift people would get on their computers, and they got all PO'd about that. So they started putting passwords on them, and so they come to me because they know I know a lot about computers. Hey, Steve, how do we get past this password? There's a jumper on the motherboard. You just take the jumper and throw it away. So that's what we did. Over.
I can understand that. Yeah, that makes sense, no doubt. I did have an opportunity once, kind of like the same lines you were talking about on the title. A friend of ours was a local bank teller, and I think she had a little time on her hands as well, and she came up with a new title, and she called herself a funds disbursement agent. And that's not untrue. It's certainly a little, I don't know if you'd say embellished or what have you, but it certainly runs on the same line. She's one step above taking the trash out in the evenings as well. So, I guess it's all how you look at it.
Oh, definitely. So anyway, these day shifters, I wasn't very fond of them anyway. But and I told you there was 4 cubes to a pod, and then they started going to these wireless mouses. Well, what's really funny, if you take the dongles for the USB mouse and switch them around in that cube, that's funny to watch in the morning.
Yeah, I'll bet it is. That is too funny.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then we had this one fella, you could literally set your watch by him. 8 o'clock every morning, he was going to the bathroom to do his morning constitution. You could literally set your watch by him, over.
Oh, I can just think how much fun that would be. Yeah, no doubt. And now look at us. I don't know, what do you do with yourself? You're missing all that fun.
Unlocked, and so I had to access his keyboard. So I went into Microsoft Word, and Microsoft Word has auto spell correct, and it has a built-in list of if you start this way, it'll correct the spelling for you. Well, you can also add words. So I added the word every time you type THE to change it to I suck buttermilk, and that was funny.
Oh, God, I hope he didn't send emails to the wrong department.
Oh, he got real creative. He typed in THE period. He finally figured out how to get around it. And it went on for 2 months. I kept asking his podmates, hey, you say anything? He said, no, he ain't said nothing yet. It's funny. Anyway, that's what I was claiming for my shenanigans. The only thing that saved me while I was really, really good at my job. That saved my butt a lot, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, or could have got it in the hot water either direction. I can see that. Been there myself from time to time.
Roger. Anyway, I don't want to hold you up. There's some other people probably want to. I was telling a lot of my buddies about your YouTube channel, and hopefully they went and subscribed. I don't know where I can check it. Maybe you can check it and see if you got any new subscribers. But anyway, yeah, I'm running the flag up for you there, brother.
Well, I appreciate it. Again, this isn't about me. It's people that stop in and say hi, like yourself. And you've been, you and I have talked on numerous occasions, and there's others who've done that as well. And again, if somebody gets something out of it, the thing that really kind of works, Steve, is you may have some experience with a particular product, or you did something with antenna, and there's people listening who can gather that info, and that's really what this is all about, is sharing information, maybe sharing a story, getting a good laugh. If they get something out of the stream, hey, great. I'm enjoying it. I think others are as well, and I'll keep doing it as long as people seem to have an interest in it there, Roger.
Oh, yeah. Well, me and you talked about this FTDX10. Man, I am loving this radio. Loving it, over.
Yeah, that's why I've got 2 of them. And this is the one I bought in February. It went to California to get repaired, and we haven't had any problem with it since. I do like the idea of being able to put the display on a larger monitor, or like we do tonight here on the live stream on the channel, which is kind of cool. Again, on my ICOM on the 7300, we did the same thing. We used a third-party software that allowed to do something like that, and there was aspects of it I thought were better than what this does, but there's such a delay, and you had to tie up an extra monitor to be able to run that software by itself. because you couldn't put an overlay or anything on it, and I have nothing against it. It's a great software package. It's just this is a little bit more streamlined, a little easier to use. We've got some stations nearby, at least for me, so I've got the DNR right now, and it's all dropped out, and all I hear is you, and that's the nice thing about one of the nice features about the radio.
Oh, no doubt, man. Tonight the band is wide open. I mean, you are rocking it here. I think you just activated my garage door opener.
Yeah, that was my intention. You know, I've got these little secret frequencies in the background here, so I can either get dogs to bark, garage doors are open. Sometimes if you've got remote start, I can actually start your vehicle for you just by the way my frequency's coming out.
Love it, I love it. Anyway, there's probably some, let's see, I'm looking at the catalog. There's a few people behind me. Anyway, I'm going to turn you loose. I want to hog the whole frequency all up for you tonight. Great talking to you. Always a pleasure, man. Glad you let me share some of my stories with you. So 73 to you, brother. Good night.
Oh, I enjoy it, Steve. Unless I've missed one, I'm not sure. This is number 4, contact. I don't see one for September. Maybe I missed one, but I'm seeing number 4, so that qualifies you as a regular. So we'll do the confetti and stuff later. You probably won't see that, but this is the 4th contact. You're welcome back anytime. I appreciate the heads up there on the chat. That's kind of cool. Always nice to get a chance to talk with you. Again, we like to share stories and information, what have you, like I said. So no big deal here, of course. Hey, enjoy the week coming up. Hopefully you'll get some of the rain that we just got today. If you got some, you can have some more. I don't want any more. We're going to have a nice day tomorrow. I hope it stays that way. But always a pleasure to hear you out there. You're welcome back anytime, and we'll just kind of pick it up where we left off from tonight. So let's say 7-3. So now, Kilo 0, Juliet, X-Ray, November, the proper phonetic. Kilowatt 0, Romeo, Whiskey, Bravo. Thank you, Steve.
Hey, that surprise. Is it bigger than the bread box?
You talking to me? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about that special thing you're going to give away today.
I didn't say I'd given anything. I said we've got some information to share, and that's coming up in about 40 minutes, the top of the hour at 7 o'clock.
Okay, I'll be there. Thank you, sir. Good night.
All right, we'll talk to you later. This is K0RWB, Randy in Kansas City, QRZ. Any other stations, come out with your call, please. Sierra Zulu Mike, give me your prefix again. Well, I'm taking a guess because I've got somebody down below pretty noisy. Was it Kilo Alpha 9? Whiskey Alpha 9? I'm sorry, try it again.
Whiskey Alpha 9.
So Whiskey Alpha 9, I believe. Is that a Roger?
QSL. Name here is Mark, Mexico Able Radio Kilo, and just from Chicago. I'm just reading the mail on you. Thought I'd come in and get it from the report. Just running 100 watts on a wire, and we got a lot of lightning static here. We got some storms all over the place, including some 28-watt charge right now.
Well, thank you, Mark. Apologize for the call. I've got stations on both sides of me. You know, we've been sitting here for just about 35 minutes, and we got nicely asked to move the other night, which we did. I wish people would not move a KC down below you or above you and start transmitting, but I don't know. Maybe it's an accident. But in the clear, you're 5 and 7, 5 and 8, Mark. Thank you for copying the mail. Great, glad to hear it. Again, the name here is Randy. We're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. We are doing our live stream out here on YouTube as well, so nice to have you on the channel there. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Randy. And you got a very nice signal here and beautiful audio. You're about 90% over, and the static crashes really aren't doing you any harm whatsoever. So, anyway, just running an old 756 Pro 2 here with clear watts and a 6-point Renfado, only about 20 feet off the ground. But it seems to do the job when there's propagations there. And we've been doing a lot on 15s recently. I don't know if you've gotten on 15. It's been open almost every day. I wonder if you've done anything over there. Go ahead.
Yeah, matter of fact, we have. And we were talking with our friend Alex earlier on 15. He's down in Cutler Bay, Florida, just south of Miami. And we've talked many times. We haven't worked on 15, and so I want to get a chance, to get that contact. But and then we've kind of running around. We've been on 15. There was a little activity on 12, of course, on 17, and on 20. We kind of run the band a little bit earlier on 10. We really didn't hear anything here at RQTH, but I think 10 has been open as well. So it's a great indication. We're kind of coming into that fall, weather. Maybe the band will open a little bit. I'm not complaining, actually. I mean, I get out here on 40 meters in the evenings, Mark, and I mean, there's always people to talk to. There's always the activity up and down on the band has been, pretty intense from night in and night out. Again, 40 meters is great. 100 watts in a wire does a whole lot and is really successful here on 40 meters. So I think it's great. That's one thing we like about 40 meters, and I think there's a lot of great operators down here as well. Roger?
Every now and again, but below 7,200, we've been hearing DX also. There's a guy that we hear all the time out of Italy on 40 meters here, and I've worked him a few times here with the 100 watts, but I heard him earlier this evening, I think around 7192 or something like that, and so there's been DX activity. That guy's got the I can't remember his call, but boy, he's got one of the biggest signals on 40 meters from Europe for sure, and I can hear him quite often. So anyway, all righty, well, we'll let you go, and there'll work some other guys there. So thanks for coming back to me. We're probably going to have to back down the hatches here in a little bit. I'm watching the radar, and it looks like there's another line of storm headed our way, probably within the hour, that has been spawning tornadoes coming up towards the field in the area. And looks like we're going to get backed up a little bit with that, so probably it disconnect here a little bit. So anyway, back to you, Randy, and we'll let you continue on there with your stream. K0RWB, Whiskey Alpha 9, Sierra Zulu Mike. By the way, I'm just outside of Chicago, 10 miles southwest of downtown Chicago.
Yeah, okay, Mark, no problem at all. And we certainly understand about the storms. We've had quite a bit of rain, and we haven't had the bad weather or the harsh weather to go with it. Luckily, we've been fortunate there. So I think we're done with the rain right now. It's kind of moving off to the east of us. Of course, don't know if it's coming up your direction, but it seemed like the storms were pretty widespread across the Midwest. So you're probably getting some of that yourself. But anyway, always a pleasure. I'm surprised with a signal like that. We haven't worked before. I don't see a contact in my log, but so thank you for the first one. Anyway, again, it's a little noisy. There's some stations close by, but I would certainly shut down instead of ruin the equipment. But anyway, if you get time, give a look and a listen there on our Qsl on the channel there. Probably about 33 minutes in. You could fast forward to that part, Mark. I think that's about where you and I started. Give a look and listen, see what you think. If you're interested, hear us out again. The best way, of course, is to go ahead and hit that little notification bell, so whenever I go live, you'll know where we're at and so forth. But anyway, enjoyed it very much. Have a great Monday evening. What they say, when the weather's bad, keep your head down and keep moving forward. So you and yours be safe, be well. Thank you for giving us a call this night. Look forward to working you again. Nice to hear you from the Chicagoland. Nice to see you. We're getting a little bit of stuff to the northeast of us as well. You and yours take care. Whiskey Alpha 9, Sierra Zulu Mike, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you, Mark. Have a good night.
Okay, Randy, very good.
Location of that tornado.
When we go out, I think we need to wear Kevlar here these days. Anyway, 73, Randy. Have a good evening.
Okay, you take care, Mike. 73s. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, QRZ. Any other stations come with the call, please.
Zero Victor Zulu Kilo.
Kilo Delta 9 Delta question mark, I believe. Kilo Delta 9 station. Try it again.
Kilo Delta 9 Delta Sugar Tango.
Okay, got you that time. Boy, you must have turned the volume up or put another quarter in, because you really came in that time. We've got some stations real close by, below us and above us. I kind of wish it hadn't happened, but I guess just the way it's going to play out. If I typed it right, this would be Patrick there, Roger.
I heard you in there talking to one gentleman. I was just curious as to where the tornado activity was up there.
Well, I didn't hear anything about tornado per se. I know Mark is up in the Chicagoland area, and I believe he said they've got some more harsh weather coming in. He was getting ready to shut down and batten down the hatches. If he mentioned tornado, I didn't hear it there, Roger.
Yeah, roger that. Well, he may not have. I don't know. I thought he did, but he might not have.
Well, I'd like to think he said no. I don't want anybody to have to deal with any tornadoes there, Roger.
Oh, definitely. I don't need any more tornadoes. I'm in central Illinois, and I'm just wondering how is my signal at this time?
Well, you've been between 5 and 9 to 10 over, so it's up and down. Again, in the clear, I think you're a little better, but like I said, we've got some QRM from right below us with some stations and right above us. You know, we've been sitting out here for about 40 minutes, and I really hate to see people moving in like that without even kind of checking what's around them. But maybe they can't hear me or hear you. I'm not sure which. I kind of wish it hadn't happened, but I guess sometimes that's the way it works. So, Roger?
Yeah, roger on that. They do it all the time. I've seen the band where there hadn't been anybody else on there except one other station, and somebody will roll in there and park it right underneath of them or right above them and start talking. And I don't know what they're thinking.
Well, I'll tell you, you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of being in a big open parking lot, going to Walmart, and you're parking the fifth row way back against the curb, and you come out after shopping, and there's a car on each side of your vehicle. That's kind of what it reminds me of.
Yeah, and your vehicle has a dent on both sides, too, that wasn't there before. Yeah, I've seen that happen. Well, you know, that's just the way things go sometimes. People are, I don't know if they don't know what they're doing or if they intentionally do that or not. You know what, I heard you talking to that gentleman, and I thought I heard him say something about tornadoes south of Chicago, and I live down here just west of Champaign, and we've had some pretty wild weather go through here today, so I was trying to glean as much information as I could.
No, I certainly understand that, and again, if he did mention it, then I just wasn't paying attention or overheard it. I guess the best thing to do is we kind of keep an eye on the local weather, or we've got a weather radio here that we can keep track of. We did have a chance to touch base with our local weather news here this evening, and our rain and storms are done with. It's supposed to be a little bit clearer as the evening goes on and a better day tomorrow. So I'm hoping it doesn't get severe, but I would certainly, I'd keep one eye on the screen and one eye on the weather there, Roger.
Yeah, roger that. Could I get your name and your location?
Yeah, you sure can. My apologies for not getting it out there. The name here is Randy, Patrick, and the QTH. We are 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. We're right on the I-70 corridor there, Roger.
Yeah, roger that, Randy. Well, it's good to talk to you. And I don't know if you kicked the power up a little bit or what happened, but I've got you almost 20 over right now.
Well, I just put another quarter in. I can tell when it starts getting a little low, so I get so many quarters every night, Patrick. So I just put another quarter in. That kind of boosted it up a little bit.
Well, they're working. They're definitely working for you. How is my signal right now?
Yeah, you're 10 over, so again, it's doing fine. I think, at least for me, in my location, it seems as though as the night goes on, it gets a little bit better and better. Signals get a little brighter. It hasn't been bad so far. I think the weakest I had was 5 and 7, only because we've had some noise around us, upper and down below us as well. And, and I think the band is still in pretty good shape. Todd out in Pennsylvania says I'm 5'9 plus. Thank you for that, Todd, there on the live chat. So, I mean, we'll take, if I can hear you and work you, that's the great thing about it, Patrick. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. That's all you need right there. I just shut my power off and turned it into standby. What kind of a signal are you getting now?
Oh, it's just terrible. It's just terrible. 5 and 8 and 5 and 9. Boy, it's just awful. I can't stand it.
Just went to the HE double hockey sticks, huh?
Well, I tell you what, for that little bit of difference, you kind of wonder if it's worth having the extra power and having to pay for it there, Roger.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've got a ground-mounted radio out there in the backyard, and man, we've had a lot of rain today, and when that ground is saturated like it is now, I generally don't need an amplifier of any kind to talk all the way around the United States and then some.
Yeah, I certainly understand that. Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense. Again, that's another great thing here about 40 meters. Barefoot, 100 watts in a wire goes a long ways here on 40, and it's not uncommon. About 80% of the contacts I have in the evenings are 40 watts in a wire, and they do terrific. Don't get me wrong, do a terrific job. We're running a 40-meter dipole, Patrick. It's 38 foot off the side of our tower. It's in a very unconventional configuration, but it works. We're not going to mess with it. And we're running a little power tonight just because we're doing our live stream on YouTube, and we like to make sure we are being heard. Otherwise, it makes for a real boring view there, Roger.
Yeah, it's tough, when people can't hear you and your net control. Something I just noticed, though, when I turned my amplifier on standby, I forgot to raise my watts. I was talking to you with no power on 35 watts. Now,
that just tells you right there how good the shape the band is in, so no problems. And let's see, 100 watts in a wire here in Bullhead City, Arizona. So that's good. So we've got another station that's sitting out there as well. So we'll get to him there shortly. So yeah, again, there wasn't too long ago, Patrick, you could talk around the world on 10 watts. So I don't know if we'll ever get back to that point, but it does not surprise me, to run low power like that and still work it quite well.
Yeah, I hope I live long enough to see the next big band opening conditions where you don't have to worry about how many watts you're running or any of that. You can talk to wherever you want to. That'll be fun. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here and let you get to these other people who've been patiently waiting. I appreciate their patience. So with that, I will say 73. And 39 DST will be clear on your final.
Well, thank you very much, Patrick, for giving us the call this evening. We generally get out here about 7 o'clock Central Time. We did get out here a little earlier today because we had some time to do so and wanted to try to work a little longer. We've only got so many quarters, of course, so when they run out, we have to shut it down. But so far, so good. I don't think we've got a contact before. I don't see one in my log, so thank you very much for 40 meters. Again, as I said, we're also live here on YouTube, so if you get a chance and you'd like to hear and listen and watch our Qsl, you can go to YouTube, go to the search bar, put in my call, K0RWB, or you can go to my QRZ page, Patrick. I've got a link that take you right to my channel, and you can kind of give a look and a listen. We probably started about 45 minutes in. You could move up to that part and then give a good look and a listen. Again, you sound good in my receive, sound good with the amplifier, sounded great with 35 watts. But by all means, you be the judge. Feel free to come back anytime you hear us out there. We'll just kind of pick it up where we left off. If storms are coming your way, my friend, be safe and be well out there. Head down and keep moving forward. We don't want to hear any things that are going the wrong way. So take care, and we'll definitely look for you again. Kilo Delta 9 Delta Sierra Tango, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you, Patrick. 7-3.
Thank you. 73.
Okay, take care. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Let's see, since we were 5 and 8, 5 and 9, let's see if Arizona's out there. Kilo 7, Kilo Juliet November, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Mike, are you out there? Go ahead. Well, let's try it again one more time here. Kilo 7, Kilo Juliet November. If I've got that right in there, this is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Returning. Well, I know you're on the chat, and you said 5 and 8. We'll try it one more time. If not, we'll give it a few minutes and give it a go again. We like to get those updates here on the chat as well. Kilo 7, Kilo Juliet November, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, returning. Well, I got you that time, Mike. Not super strong. Again, we've got some stationed close by below us and above us. It's kind of giving us a little bit of havoc, but hopefully we'll get you back in the clear and get a better copy on you there. Go ahead. Well, I did copy. You said, I believe you said G5RV, and I couldn't quite pull out the rest of it there. But you know, at least for my QTH, don't feel too bad. Usually the West Coast for me, and you're west of me, of course, so I'm going to call you West Coast. You guys get a lot stronger for me around that 7:30, 8 o'clock Central Time. So we're really kind of early in the evening, I think, for us to have a good connection. But I think as time goes on, we'll probably be able to pick you guys up a whole lot better there. Roger?
Roger. Hold it. I'll let you drop it all the way in the... We have high winds here, and I think I may have lost my primary and the backup is just barely getting out there. Over.
Yeah, well, I hope those high winds aren't too bad. I guess that kind of happens this time of year too, as the transition of the season start to take place. So by all means, batten down the hatches, put another stake in the ground. Don't be flying off for sure. Hey, Mike, thank you for giving us a heads up there on the live chat. Appreciate it very much. And hopefully, if you're around here in a little while, I hope it'll get a little bit better, and we could give it a little go. To me, it's a contact. You've been 5 and 5, 5 and 7 in my receive. I did see there on the chat you said around 5 and 8, so I'll take that as well. And if you're around here in a little while as well, you're welcome to give us a call back again, and we could certainly try it. But I do appreciate the efforts tonight, but I think it'll probably get better as time goes on. So anyway, 7.3s for now. And, oh, gosh, 60-mile-an-hour gust. That's not a good thing either. So maybe that won't be as fast as the signal comes out. So, hey, 7.3s, and look for us again for sure. Kilo 7, Kilo Juliet, November, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7.3s.
Kilo 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Kilo Juliet, November, 7.3. Thanks for bringing me on.
Yeah, a little bit better on the other antenna. I think you said a cobweb. That was a little bit better. But, again, if we can get rid of some of the noise right below us and above us, it'd probably help. So, anyway, feel free to come back anytime, 7.3s. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, QRZ. Any other stations, please?
Whiskey 8, Romeo Bravo, Yankee.
The Whiskey 8 station again, please?
Whiskey 8, Romeo Bravo, Yankee.
Oh, there we go. Whiskey 8, Sierra Bravo, Yankee. How are we doing tonight? Okay, the Whiskey 8, are you still in there?
How about Whiskey 8, Romeo Bravo, Yankee?
Well, you know, if I would type it in correctly, I'd probably get a lot better answers. So Whiskey 8, Romeo Bravo, Yankee. Sorry about that, Walter. I guess I got fat fingers tonight.
Hey, we all do that every once in a while. You're not alone.
Well, sometimes I feel like it. Now, see, it didn't pop up in time because all of a sudden my notes showed up before I said anything. The names pop up before my notes do. See, what was I thinking? Otherwise, I would have said Scott.
That's fine. Like I said before, I've been called a lot worse, so I'm good with it. I'll answer to both. It's been a few weeks since I talked to you. And how you been doing lately, Randy?
Oh, well, it's been up and down. We've had a couple of projects we had to get squared away in the shop, and a couple of long days to get out of the shop around 6 o'clock. And between cleanups and dinner and so forth, just really didn't have a time or the inclination to get up in the shack. So we've been off for a couple of weeks, got back a couple of days last week, and we're hoping that we can continue that trend this week. So here we are, Monday, Columbus Day, and got out here a little earlier than usual. But that's okay. I told a few others here earlier, Scott, that we've got, for us it's a big deal. We got an announcement here at the top of the hour for some stuff that we're going to be doing around December, kind of an event. And for those that are watching on the channel, they'll be able to see it when I put it up on the screen, and we'll mention it as well. So we're kind of excited. It should be fun. But again, we get out here early and we're making some contacts. The band's in pretty good shape, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's true. Over the weekend, I was out to camping again, doing some POTA activations, and the bands were up and down really bad and really busy with a lot of QSO parties going on. It was a tough weekend. I heard you on Friday evening. Just couldn't get to you. I was only running 10 watts, and that didn't quite make it to you.
Well, you know, and that's a lot of. I'll have to blame myself for that. We've always tried, at least in the middle part of winter. We always tried to, at least at the top of the bottom of the hour, to take a few minutes and try to get some QRP portables or mobiles. And it's been my own fault here. The last couple of times we've kind of forgotten about that. We're going to try to keep remembering that. We're making notes on our notepad down here for calls and different things like that. So don't blame yourself for that. It'd be my fault, my shortcoming, but it's something we're going to work on because we like to work those stations. You get these crazy pileups, Scott, and you just kind of go and go and go, and we kind of think about it. But, you know, you guys are out there working it too, and I know your guys are trying to get in there, and we're trying to grab everybody. And, you know, yeah, with 10 watts and with some of those signals that were coming in, it'd be really hard to hear you unless I didn't call for you.
Yeah, after the last time we talked, we were talking about the Bob Heil Zoom meeting you had, and I've upgraded here at the QTH. I went with that PR781 now, and now I'm interested to see how I sound. And you're recording it for me, so I'll get to hear it here in just a little bit. Over.
Well, I tell you what, you got a ways to go. I think probably the best thing you could do is why don't you just go ahead and send that to me, and let me try it out for a couple of weeks. I'll get it broke in for you, and then I'll ship it back.
Isn't this the same mic that you already run?
Well, I didn't think you'd catch on quite that quick, but yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's a lot easier than desk mic, though. I've got this and a foot switch, and my life's just so much easier now. Over.
Well, I'm telling you, you know, and again, it all depends on the application. Even when we run portable, we have a second foot switch, and because we've got 3 monitors in front of us, our keyboards, we're trying to type this, we're looking at this screen, that screen, and everything in between. And you know, you can certainly run the mic on Vox. I did that for many, many years, and sometimes it's really hard to get that sensitivity just right. And sometimes it transmits when you really don't want it to, and vice versa. The foot switch really does eliminate that and does make things a lot easier there, Roger.
Yeah, roger that. I think it's a lot more convenient, but I think I spend more time outside on the radio than I do in the shack here. But I enjoy it when I can, and it does rain every once in a while. Over.
Yeah, I can. You know, again, to me, it's simplicity, and I like to say ease of function. It's. And I don't stop anybody from using any kind of mic application that works for them. The hand mics sound good. I just, some people like to run a paper log. I haven't done a paper log for, going on 10 years. So I'm always using an electronic log, whether it's on a laptop or desktop computer or whatever. So I've just gotten used of having a keyboard in front of me. Maybe that's not the essence of amateur radio, but sometimes that's just the way it works out, Roger.
That's how it goes sometimes. I got used to doing everything with my right hand and keying with the left, and it's really different now that I have two hands available to work with. It makes life a lot easier. Over.
Yeah, I can believe it. And it's probably a little tough to get into the thing that took me a while, Scott, was I start talking, forget to hit the foot switch, and then I had to kind of consciously remind myself to put my foot down there.
Yeah, it didn't take me very long, and I got used to this. It's just the convenience factor is so much better. Over.
Oh, no doubt. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised when you go back and listen to the playback. The microphone is doing a great job. Again, it's a very good mic. To me, it was a tough choice between this and the PR40. The PR40 has a little bit more bass to it, a little bit more of an open range. And I went with this mic just because my voice is already low enough, and I've had to bring back some of those lows even on this microphone. So we went this route, and and I have no regrets. It's really worked out great, and I'd really have a hard time using it on not using it on any other radio. Roger.
Roger that. Yeah, I went with this after I watched a few more of Bob's videos, and he really recommended for amateur radio use. And then I went ahead in my radio and set all my equalizer settings to what he recommended. So this will be a first to hear this playback tonight. I'm really interested. Over.
Yeah, that's great. Again, it all depends on what you want to do. I have probably, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 different settings. For different things. If you're trying to work DX and you're working a pilot, you got to narrow everything down. You're trying to get squeeze out every little bit of power. So it's going to be high and tinny, but it should help get through a little better. And that's not something you'd want to use for rag chew or what we're doing here. I've got just more of a rag chew setting here than I would normally run. So again, you can kind of tweak it how you need. I'm glad that we have a chance to record this so that you can go back and listen to it, and then you can kind of work off of that. In my receive, it sounds great, but you'll be the judge of if you want to make any changes and know what type.
Yeah, right now, it seems like I'm getting through some of these pile-ups better than I was. I don't know if that's just because I got a better position on the mic and my foot on a switch. I don't know. We'll just keep playing with it and see what goes from there. Over.
Yeah, well, I will say this. Your audio now has a lot more drive to it than you've had in the past, if that makes any sense to you. It's a little bit brighter. It's got a little bit more punch to it. It's not overdriven. Don't take it that way. But it's got a little bit more of a drive to it. And that's probably going to help you on either some bad conditions or in pileups. I mean, right now the band isn't in the greatest shape, and you're just coming right through, and I think that's just the way you've got it set up right now.
Yeah, actually, I think the bands are doing pretty good tonight because you're coming in at plus 10 and plus 20 tonight, which is on the better side of it, and I don't hear as much fade as we've been having lately. So I think the bands are looking a lot better, and maybe they'll just keep going that direction. Over.
Well, it'd be all right. I mean, we've had some storms here the last 24 hours, and I know there's some stuff in the area. So, like usual on 40 meters, you've got some crashes and some noise and that kind of thing. And, it's just something we learn to deal with. I got to quit hitting the boom mic, otherwise it makes all kinds of noise. But, again, I think the settings that work for you probably won't work for me. That's the great thing about this. You've got different ways we can dial stuff in, and you can set up different settings on those kind of things. And I don't hear a problem with it whatsoever. I'm watching when you transmit on my scope, and I'm seeing those peaks and valleys on the mids and the lows and the highs, and you'll see it as well. You'll get a chance to do any adjustments you want to it. Or not to. I mean, really, but I do tell a difference from what you've had in the past.
Yeah, I'll listen to it later here and see what I think about it. But I'm glad to hear it does sound better on your end. And it's good talking to you. I'll get off here and let someone else jump in so I don't take your whole evening up. It's really good talking to you. I wish you the best. And I'll talk to you again soon. 7-3, Randy.
Yeah, no problem, Scott. Thank you so much. And for giving us a shout there. Apologize on the call. Just I don't know, my fingers aren't typing like they should, but we got it squared away. Nice to hear you out there again. It sounds good. Congrats on the new microphone. And you don't have to be here for it now because it's being recorded, but after we're done here in about 5 minutes, we've got a little announcement on an event that we're doing with a few other operators that we're kind of excited about. So we're going to announce that at the top of the hour, and we're going to show a little teaser picture and so forth. And if you're not around, that's fine. we'll have it recorded and you can watch it then and give a look and listen. We're really excited, hoping it's going to work out well. Anyway, thanks again. You take care. Nice to hear you out there. And, as always, feel free to come back anytime. Whiskey 8, Romeo Bravo Yankee, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3s.
Yeah, Kilo 0, Red, White, Blue, Whiskey 8, Romeo Bravo Yankee. You have a good night, 7-3.
All right, take care, 7-3s. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, QRZ. Any other stations, please?
Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Bravo Yankee.
Kilo Echo 8, question mark. Try it again, please.
Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Bravo Yankee.
Oh, Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Bravo Yankee. That sounds like David. Hey, how are you doing tonight?
Doing good, doing good. I got some pictures updated on QRZ so you can see where I started.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, you see where I've been. You know what? I'm glad you said that. Got the page pulled up, and we're putting them on the live stream right now so everybody else can see your hard work. Hey, that's great for posting the pictures, man. That gives me a really good idea of what you've done here.
Copy that. There are 2 pictures on there from the Hamfest at Parkersburg. And in the text, you'll see, in their infinite wisdom, the power company planned an outage for the showgrounds for Saturday.
Now, what was the reasoning behind that?
Who knows? It happened, and at least it was a Wood County emergency group that put the fest on, and they had the generators and everything to get everything set up.
Wow, that's just crazy. That's crazy. I've got your pictures up here. Got them listed up here as well, and I can see what's interesting. What you did with the radials and the conduit, and where you've got that loop. That is really impressive, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. And the very last picture is the base of my vertical, and it's not completely done yet. I've got to get the feed to it, but I've got to get my box on the side of the house.
Wow, that's really impressive. So how many bags did you do today, or did you take a break because of Columbus Day?
I poured 18 yesterday, so I've got to let that cure, and then I've got to move the hot tub, and I think it's approximately 40 more to pour.
Wow, well, you don't have to do it all at one time, do you?
No, I split that up into 2 pours. That way, I pour it a day, and then I let it cure a day, get the forms off, get everything rebuilt, and then rest, and then I go get the bags, get ready to go.
Well, have you had any rain or bad weather like that slows you down, or has the weather been okay for you when you're doing those pours?
Well, Friday was no rain. Well, Friday afternoon it rained. Saturday it decided to rain, so that's why I poured yesterday. I've got a big tarp. I cover everything up. Then when it quits raining, I start pouring.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. When you and I talk and you tell me about what you're doing, I try to envision in my head what it looks like. And now that I see pictures, it's a much larger scale than what I had envisioned. So it's really great that you're able to put some pictures there so you can kind of get a sense of what you're doing. It's much bigger than what I had actually envisioned. And that just seems like a lot of work, but the end result's just going to be tremendous.
Roger that. I will have pictures of when I get the whole project completed, so you can see what it all going to look like when it looks like when I'm done.
Yeah, that's good. As you're taking those progress pictures, that's really cool to see. From start to finish and what have you, and to add those. Plus, again, people go to your QRZ page. I guarantee, whether they're listening right now and they see it on the live stream, or you make contacts later and they pull your page up, they're going to ask questions about it. And again, but you have that knowledge and that experience, and you're able to share it with other people. and they may get the idea of doing something like that as well. So, you're doing it for yourself, but you could also end up being a teacher and an instructor for it there, Roger?
Roger that. Like I said, it just came to mind when I started for it. Why not try it? I had to buy the reinforcing, but I had the number 6 stranded in the split bolt, so why not?
Yeah, I would be the same way. I'd say, well, why not? Why wouldn't you do it? Again, because you've got the parts to do it, and I think you had a pretty good idea of what impact it's going to have on your station. I would have never have guessed of doing all that myself, but you'll certainly have a great reason to pat yourself on the back when it's done.
Roger that. Like I said, I worked on it right before I caught you coming on the air. I just got the pictures out, and I checked every tune on my antennas and everything safe for me, and I was ready to go.
Well, that's great. It really is. Again, to be able to see the pictures and see the scale of it, how deep you went from, down into the ground, that you've got to re-level with the concrete and what have you. That's a really an undertaking to do, and to get it done like that, it's really cool. So I definitely applaud you there, Roger.
Roger that. I don't have one of the pictures up yet, but there's one conduit on there that comes from the dipole. And then I've got a conduit coming in where you saw it there at the base of the vertical coming into the house. And then I've got a conduit under the big pole for the water line to go over there.
Yeah, and the thing is, you thought about this all ahead of time. I would have kind of been after the fact and have to probably redig a trench or thereabouts. But hey, David, real quick, we're at the top of the hour. We've got an announcement we need to get out there. You're welcome to stand by or what have you, or get back in there. But we wanted to get this done around 7 o'clock. So for those that are on the air, those that are also watching on the live stream, we've got a special event coming up that's going to be taking place in the December time frame. I know it's probably a little early, but we wanted to kind of get some of the info out there now. We decided, I've asked some other operators around the country to help us out with this, and for those that are watching it on the live stream, we're going to be doing a special event around Christmas time. It's going to be called the Christmas Train. We did this several years ago with another operator friend of mine, and we decided to take this upon ourselves. For those folks that like to get and receive QSL cards, we're going to be doing the QSL card. We have 5 operators in total. They are November 0 Tango, November 0 Radio, November 0 Alpha, November 0 India, and November 0 November. So the last letter of each call spells out the word train. And for those on the live stream, this is what the QSL card looks like. And for those that will be interested in getting one of those, we'll have information on the QRZ page forthcoming, and people will get a chance to get one of those cards if they so choose. But anyway, we have operators around the country that's going to be helping me. Some of you folks know Alex, a Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform. We also have Gar down in Texas. He will be giving us a help, Whiskey Alpha 5 Foxtrot Whiskey Charlie. We also have my friend Terrence in Louisville. He will be giving us help as well. KJ4 Zulu Mike Victor is his home call. And then we also will have Armando in New York helping us out, Kilo Charlie 2 Echo Sierra. So we're really excited about this. It should be a good time. We're going to be doing this off and on for the next month and a half or so until we get to that point. And we'll give them more info about the time when we will start and stop on which dates. But I wanted to get the information out there. Hopefully people are getting excited. I know we are, and we're really looking forward to it. So with that, we'll go back to David, see if he's still in there. Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Bravo Yankee, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Back to you.
Yeah, I will definitely be looking forward to that. Like I said, I just wanted to touch base with you this evening, let you know I had the pictures up and the information, and I will have pictures of my features where the box co-outs are all going to come out to me in that. Come through the house when I get everything together. And with that, I'm going to say 73, Kilo Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Bravo Yankee.
David, thank you so much. And again, thank you for the update on your progress and for the pictures. Like I said, we did put those across the live stream as well. Other people see those. Again, if people want to see those pictures and take more time, they can go to your QRZ page and see it. Keep the pictures coming, David. I think that's great how you're showing the progress. Again, we certainly applaud you and congratulate you so far on your progress, and really looking forward to seeing pictures when you get it completed. You know, pace yourself. Don't work too hard, my friend. We don't want you to get yourself overdone there for sure. Always a pleasure, David. Please come back anytime. You know that. We always look forward to having a chat with you. So we'll say 7-3s for now. Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Bravo Yankee, Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3s.
Thank you, and 73s, Randy.
All right, you take care. Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo, QRZ. Any other stations, please?
November 3, Papa Kilo Juliet.
Was it November 4, Kilo Juliet?
No, try November 3, Papa Kilo Juliet.
Well, I'm going to try this. You're down in the noise, and I've got a station right below me. Let's go back and start from the beginning. I know it's a November station. Let's try it again.
Okay, November 3, Papa Kilo Juliet.
Okay, maybe I got it right. November 3, Papa Kilo Juliet?
Yes, sir. Good evening, Randy.
Oh, gosh, that's Todd. Where have you been? I thought you'd been off the air for I don't know how long. Where have you been?
Well, about 3 months ago, my antenna was taken down thanks to Mother Nature.
Oh, so you're using the antenna fell down deal. Oh, I got you. Okay, fine.
No, I'm serious. And I don't know, about 2 weeks ago, I got it back up. It's about 10 or 15 feet lower, but it seems to be working all right.
Well, you know, I feel for you, brother, because I had the same thing. I had a bad storm come through, maybe 2 months ago now, and one of my guy wires to my tower is tied to it. The limb is 1.5 feet in diameter, and the wind and the storm took it down, which means it took my tower down. So it did some antenna damage. So been there, done that, got back on the air, and I'm glad you are too there, Roger.
Yeah, I know, I'm definitely good. I was going crazy there for about 3.5 months, and then in the process, I saved myself about $425 or something like that, because I was looking at a comic TV, and I kept eyeing this one tree out here, seeing if maybe I could get the Untitled again. It's a younger tree, and the top of it can't be any more than, say, an inch and a half in diameter, and I wasn't sure that it was going to support it or not. So I went ahead and threw a piece of paracord over the top of it, and lent some hold on it, and I'm like, this is probably going to do this. I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to pull the antenna up without fixing the filling. And so after playing around with it for a while, I went ahead, put the antenna on the paracord and put it up and stretched out the ends and threw my analyzer on it. And it's relatively decent. Not much different to what it was before. And tried some ST8 QRP at 5 watts, and I was really pleased with the results. And now you're hearing
as well, and you know, get you a chance to get I knew you were doing some live streaming there for a while. I'll get you back on the air on that as well. So kind of wondering where you were at. Figured there was a reason for it. Hopefully it wasn't anything bad per se. I mean, off the air it's kind of bad, but I was kind of glad to hear that that you're getting kind of back to where it was and maybe even a little bit better. So hopefully things are on the up and up for you there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. I recorded, I didn't stream it, I recorded and uploaded the 2 times I was working the PA Qsl party over the weekend, and you can use the name in the chat. And you take a look at the second video, jump up to about 29 minutes, and that's where that run starts that I had. And that was probably the longest run that I've ever had, most definitely, and it was probably my best run. And I cannot complain going from 35 to 161 in 90 minutes. That was non-stop, pretty much. Back to you.
Well, again, I'm just glad to hear you again on the air. It took me a while for the call to register. You know, I've had a habit over the years is I don't hang on to stuff very long. Maybe that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not sure which. So there's a few things that stick out with me. A lot of stuff just kind of I just don't hang on to it because I'm able to sleep at night and not have to think about this, and this. So it took me a minute or two to figure out the call. Once I pulled it, then I saw it. Nobody's got a Qsl card like you do, and that's a great thing. As soon as I saw the card on your page, I knew right who it was, and then everything kind of came flashing back to me. So I'm really glad, Todd, that you took the time to hit us on the live chat and give us a call tonight. Again, you know, it's kind of early from using what we usually do. Time-wise, we've been out here for just about an hour and a half. We usually don't start until about 15 minutes ago, but we got a little early. So I'm hoping the band will get a little better as it goes on. But, you know, we've got some noise and what have you, but that's just what 40 meters does there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I know you have other people in there, and then I also spotted you in the cluster and tried to bring some attention to you, so I'll make this my final. You mentioned my Qsl card. In that picture I actually took, that's on a trail that's about a mile south of me, and the railroad trestle is about a mile and a half. From me. And that was a one day in the right spot at the right time. And when I decided I wanted to make Qsl cards, I was like, I want something that says need this. And to me, that did it, and being able to use my own picture made it that much better. And I also have that picture blown up to a 16 by 20 hanging on my wall, and it looks really nice. So let's say coming to you, Amy. Nice to hear you. Nice to make contact with you again. 73, for now. This is M3, PKJ, and I'm clearing the big entry.
Well, I think it's great, Todd. I did get your page pulled up. I should have pulled it up sooner, and I didn't. So we've got you up on the channel as well, so people can see some of the work you did. So, hey, congrats on that. And again, nice to hear you on the air, and really glad that you took the time to give us a call this evening. And I'm hoping that you'll get things, solidified and locked down and get back on the air where you belong. And I'm sure we'll have a lot more QSOs and contacts as well. So, hey, thank you so much for the evening. And, anytime, my friend, you're welcome back. I appreciate the spot on the cluster. I looked at that as well. Thank you so much for doing that. So feel free to come back anytime, Todd. So you and yours be safe, be well. Nice to hear you again. And I know we'll have many more chances to work. November 3, Papa Kilo Juliet. This is Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Have a good evening, Todd. Take care. Okay, QRZ, any other stations, please? Come with your call.
Kilo India 4, Sierra India Bravo.
Kilo India 4, Sierra India Bravo. Rich, good evening, sir. How are you?
Good, sir. And yourself, Mr. Randy?
Oh, my gosh. If I was doing any better, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. How's that for an answer?
You can't beat that with a stick. I'm talking to you out of Lebanon, Tennessee, on a ICOM IC725 and a G5RB Junior, struck up about 25 foot off the ground.
Well, how about 5 and 9 plus 10? Sounds real good in my received from Lebanon, Tennessee there. Go ahead.
Well, that makes me feel good because literally it just kind of swung together and on a barred radio, believe it or not. But I've got another HF rig I'm fixed to put in the system and see how well it works. And I may save this frequency and the time and place and come back and try you on the other radio when the time comes.
Well, I appreciate that. I will say this. We just try to find an open spot. Now, we will be on 40 meters, and I can't necessarily think we'd be here, but we've been anywhere from 71.92 to 72.47, so anywhere in between. So generally what I tell people is if you've got internet and you go to YouTube, we have a YouTube channel, of course, where it's what we're doing right now. And there you got on the bottom right, there's a little notification bell. If you click on that, it always notifies you when we're going live. So in the evenings here on 40 meters, if you hear us, we're generally live streaming as well. That would certainly give you an idea where we would be there, Roger.
Roger that. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Are you going to be tied up for busy Saturday, this coming Saturday from say 11 till any time after that?
11 p.m. or a.m.?
11 a.m.
Well, I guess I would say is how much does it pay?
Well, it would put a warm spot in a bunch of Boy Scout cars. So I'm going to Clay County, Tennessee, Friday afternoon or Friday morning, actually. And we're going to set up at Standing Stone State Park up there just outside of Salina. And we're going to be operating all day Saturday with a bunch of Boy Scouts at an event called Jamboree on the Air. And the idea is to put up as many HF rigs as you can find ham radio operators to operate and see how many contacts you can make from where.
Well, I'll tell you, I'd be happy to. If you've got access to internet and go to my QRZ page, send me an email, if you would. Just send me a quick email, a little bit of the info. I'll send you one back, and I'd just soon get a chance to talk with you on the phone. Be happy to do that. Again, we've got some people here on the live stream on the chat that are listening to this as well. Maybe we can get some other people's involved. That might be something interesting for your scouts. I can also live stream this, so if the kids want to hear themselves on the radio, they could go back later to YouTube and they can actually listen to us talking on the air.
Well, that would be absolutely fantastic. They'd have a ball with that. I'm not the scoutmaster. I'm helping the scoutmaster up in Salina, Tennessee, which is at the bottom end of Dale Hollow Lake. I don't know if you're familiar with any of that or not, but it's a big fishing lake in the state of Tennessee, and the state park's right next to it. But we're going up there Friday afternoon and set things up and operate as long as we can stand it Saturday. We're hoping to have about 4 Boy Scout troops come through, and if we do, we'll fire those things up and be squalling all over the place.
Yeah, definitely. And do you have a particular band that you're going to be operating, or do you know yet?
It's kind of open to whatever band we can find that's got traffic going on, but I plan on being on 40 meter myself.
Okay, well that'd be fine. Yeah, by all means, I'd be happy to do that. Again, I think maybe the scouts, and that's one of the reasons why we did this, Rich, is we do this live stream because not only is it live, but it records. So if people are working on audio or just got a new microphone or what have you, this records it, And my radio display is actually on the display of the channel, so you can see the signal strength. We have our oscilloscope up. You can see your audio wave pattern. You can see what your audio looks like within that 3 kc zone. But I think the kids would get a kick out of that. One, they get to hear themselves. I assume they're going to be talking on the air, how briefly it may be. But I think the kids might get a kick out of that, and we'd be more happy to try to help.
Well, I definitely appreciate that because, yeah, you're right. It'll tickle them to death to be able to hear themselves talking over ham radio from the middle of Tennessee all the way to where you are, and that'll be great.
Yeah, well, life's simple pleasures, and if it puts a spark in at least one of them, they may consider being an operator down the road. I mean, they can't get any better than that. So, I think that would be really, really good. So, by all means, like I said, my email is good in QRZ. Send me an email. I'll be happy to send one back with my number. We could certainly talk on the phone if that's all right with you, and we can certainly figure something out, and I'd be happy to do that.
That would be greatly appreciated, and I know that the Scoutmaster, who I'll talk to here in a little while, will be tickled pink when I tell him what we're going to cook up for Saturday. We've got, at the moment, there are 3 of us going to be up there with 3 different rigs, and I'm satisfied that I'll be on 40 meter, and the rest of them will be whether either 10 or 20 or somewhere up down the HF bands, but we're just going to have a ball with it and try and do the best we can with what we've got to do with it. There's going to be a bunch of dipoles up, either in-fed, center-fed, or off center-fed. I don't know which, but we're going to do the best we can with what we've got, and hopefully we'll be able to get to you up there. And I will send you that email. I appreciate your help. KI4SIB.
Yeah, I think that's great, especially on your guys' part as well. To expose the scouts to amateur radio and what all involves. And, I will say this: there's a big misconception. A lot of people think it's just a CB radio, and that's all you do is talk. And you and I know better. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with amateur radio, digital modes, and RTTY, CW. People like to work on antennas, homebrew antennas, amplifiers, and there's just a lot of things a person can do that I think a lot of people are not aware of. Maybe that information doesn't get out. So I think the more exposure that we give to people about amateur radio, again, when all else fails, cell phones don't work, but ham radio still does, and I think that's a great thing to show them emergency operations. So by all means, send me an email. I'd certainly like to get involved in that. If we don't have time, we're going to make time. I think that's a really special thing, and I think it's a great cause to try to help some of the scouts as well. So by all means, count me in. We'll look for your email, and we'll certainly go from there. So I do appreciate it. Thank you for the info, and I hope the others that are listening out there may give it a go as well. Maybe some of the folks on the chat can let us know. But you and yours have a good night. Thank you so much. I think we had a contact, actually. Yeah, May 14th is probably we were doing this as well. So nice to work again here on 40 meters. I guess we were due since May. Feel free to come back anytime. If you hear us out there, by all means, give us a call. We'll just kind of pick it up where we left off. Anyway, I look forward to trying to help in any capacity I can. I'll be happy to do that for you. Kilo India 4, Sierra India Bravo, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3.
7-3, Mr. Randy. I do appreciate your effort and everything that we may be able to conjure up on Saturday, and I know that the kids will have a ball, and I'm hoping to recruit as many of them as we can into the hobby. KO4, or K0, I never can get used to that 0 number in the mix, but Kilowatt 0. Romeo Whiskey Bravo. KI4SIB. We'll shut up and get out anyway. Thank you, sir. 7-3.
Hey, you think you've got a problem with the call? So do I. So I usually say Kilowatt 0, red, white, and blue. That usually makes things a whole lot easier. Not a problem. Be looking forward to it. Very nice to talk with you again. And I know we'll do it real soon. You take care. We'll say 7-3s. Let's see if we can get back out to Bullhead City, Arizona. He thinks we got that G5RV working a little bit. Let's see if we can make contact. Kilo 7, Kilo Juliet November, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, returning.
Kilowatt 0,
red, white, and blue. This is Kilo 7, Kilo Juliet, November, over.
Well, that's a little better. I think a lot of it because we don't have nobody below us and above us at the moment, so we've got a much better copy on you there. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. I've got a couple of stations out here, one above, one below, but I still got your 5-9, Randy. Your 5-9 in the desert of western Arizona, over.
Hey, you know what? I'll take whatever I can get. That's totally fine. I do, like I said, I do think that as time goes on, the band gets better. Your direction, of course, and that's the breaks. Is there ever a good time to start? Well, yes and no. The East Coast, I can always pretty much get them, and we get Central U.S. quite easily, and it takes a little longer for things to roll out toward the West. But it's still kind of early per se. But yeah, I've got no problem hearing you. You've got your page pulled up, got your information sitting here on the live chat as well, and on the page. So it should be pretty interesting what you've got there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. I just glanced over at the screen, and I go, there's my cobweb. Yeah, Randy, I tell you what, obligation for me on this Icon 7100 barefoot, it gets better as the sun goes down here in the west. I connect with some boys out of New Orleans every night, right about this time. They come on at 7:30 Central Time, a little bit further up the band here. And I seem to have a good path with them, and I seem to have a good path with you on the properly tuned G5RV, over.
Yeah, well, it's definitely better. I mean, I still got some crashes out in the distance, which is not uncommon, of course, for 40 meters, but much better than it was, I don't know, maybe a half hour, 45 minutes ago whenever we started. And so I'm really glad that you hung in there, and we have a chance to have a little better QSO. I mean, I'll log it again, of course, but nice to see that it's gotten better. And I like your progression of pictures you've got here on your page as well. It took a little bit of time to put that all together. You didn't do this page in 5 minutes. Pretty industrialish information you've got there, Roger.
Oh, well, thank you for the flowers, Randy. I really appreciate it. I live on a giant slab of concrete as the previous owner used to run an auto body shop out of this place, which I'm perfectly good with because I don't care for yard work all that much. But it did, without having any trees or any tall cactus, it did present a problem with getting some wires up in the air, and required a little bit of what my buddy Steve calls ingenuity.
Yeah, that's too cool. Very cool. And I'm looking at one of your pictures of your cobweb that you've got sitting on that concrete pad, and how you can raise and lower. That's pretty slick. Yeah, by and large, those antennas work really, really well.
Yeah, they do. I've just finished 9 months worth of work getting this station on the air. I was just licensed in January for the first time. And so I've been working really hard to get the station on the air. And all along, I figured somebody would notice. And they finally did. The powers that be sent me a love letter wanting to talk about my creation, over.
Well, I'm hoping it was for the good and not for the bad.
Well, I think, you know how it goes. There's going to be some people that look at my antenna farm and go, hey, that's pretty cool. And there's some other people that are going to look at it and say, that must come down. And they'll probably make some phone calls, and I'll have to explain myself, which I did. I finished up my antenna work a couple of weeks ago, and then I spent an entire week putting together a pretty nice PDF presentation to give to the building plan people, and if it doesn't work, I guess I'll be giving it to the city council, over.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, that it comes to that. I know like you said, there are some camps that think that's pretty cool. Some are afraid it's going to hurt property values and that kind of thing, but, I just think that there's got to be a solution that everybody can live with, and I'm sure you guys will find one.
Roger, I have faith. Everything you see in those pictures is portable. can literally take my entire radio station down in one day, all of the way, and nobody would ever know it's here. So being that it's portable in that respect, I think I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, I think if you're able to relay that to them, that that it's not a temporary, a permanent structure. That if there's things that would change to where you have to take it down temporarily or something, and you could do that in a relatively short time frame. I would certainly hope that's something that people could live with.
Roger. Well, the point I wanted to make to him is that I wanted to make 2 points. First of all, I think most ham radio operators really don't want to have a bunch of antennas all over their property, and they would rather operate in anonymity if they could. And that would certainly be me. If I could have found the perfect antenna to hide in the rafters of my shop that would work well on all bands, I would put that in there and I'd take everything else down. But we know that's not going to happen. And so the other message I try to convey to them is that the height of everything else I put up is the very minimum it needs to be for me to operate effectively. Over.
Yeah, that's good. I'm sure if you were trying to erect a 75 or 100-foot tower, I could see you getting some pushback for that, especially in a permanent configuration. But if you have the availability and the ingenuity even to make that a kind of a portable setup where you can bring it up and down, again, I hope it works out in your favor. I think the more operators we have, the better.
Roger. Yeah, my buddy Jackson, X-Ray Nagasaki, called the Ingenuity.
Yeah, well, we don't want to talk about him tonight again, do we?
Well, he's the guy that sent me a text saying, hey, Randy's online now. He's live streaming now. Pull him up. And so I sent him a text. I said, man, I got 5-9 here. So, I've enjoyed this QSO, and I appreciate you picking me up. I didn't mean to get all the notoriety that you just gave me, but I will take it. Randy, I don't know if you got to go. I'll turn this into the K7KJN hour, but I know you probably got to move along. So thanks so much for being patient with me and letting me recheck, picking me up a second time. The issue was with a used manual tuner. We won't mention the name of the manufacturer, but it's got the touchy knobs on it. And so I had to move the inductance knob over one and retune, and voila, we're on the air. Okay, Randy, K0, red, white, and blue. Thanks so much for the Qsl 73s. This is K7KJN. I will check in with you again on another time.
Yeah, no problem at all. Glad to do it. Yeah, I'm glad you jumped back in there because definitely better than the first time around. Yeah, it's amazing. It's just amazing how that little impedance just kind of gets in our way there. So I'm glad that you've got it. I got it squared away. I hope everything goes okay for you there. That you and the neighbors and the city can all live in peace, and you can still operate and be on the air. That's a great thing. So always nice to know that we've got some other people listening, whether you get prodded from Steve or not. I don't know if he's still out there or not, but hey, with guys like him, who else do you need, right? I mean, it's again, the great thing about 40 meters, we've got great operators, and people always got great information to share, good stories, and always have good signals. That's one thing we do like about being here on 40 meters, especially here in the evenings. It never ceases to amaze me, the quality operators that are out there, and then folks that actually take the time to check in with us. It's always nice to hear that. So by all means, anytime, anywhere you hear us, you're welcome back anytime, of course. And I hope we'll have a chance to get some updates from you to see how things go. And you're welcome to come back, and we'll just kind of pick it up where we left off. So let's say 7-3s again for the evening. You want to try it again later and we're here, we can do that too. I don't have many more quarters left, but you never can tell. Mike, thanks again. Nice to hear you, and appreciate Steve sending you the note. So now if you go to the channel and hit the notification bell, you'll be able to get it on your own as well. Take care, 7-3s. Kilo 9, Kilo Juliet November, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3s.
7-3.
Okay, QRZ. Any other stations out there? Come with your call, please. Was there a Kilo Sierra Juliet station? I couldn't quite pull it out. Was there a KSJ station, Kilo Sierra Juliet station? Was there a Kilo Lima station? Did I hear a Kilo Lima? Kilo Lima 0 Charlie Papa. Is that a Roger, Mike? Well, I got a little bit of noise here, my friend. Put a couple extra quarters in there. Let's try her again there. Go ahead.
That's my first HF setup. Right now I got a cheap and dirty dipole mounted off a
Well, you know, something's better than nothing. So I'd say, hey, go for it. I'll look at the meter next go-round. We got you a little bit better that time. QRZ says you're in is it Chuckey, Tennessee? Go ahead.
Roger.
Well, that's good. Yeah, you're in between, you know, in the clear. You're 5 and 7, 5 and 8. We've got some crashes on the band, of course, but not a problem here. The name here is Randy and QTH. We are 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. There, go ahead. Well, again, that's the great thing about 40 meters. You don't need a lot of equipment to be successful on 40. Sometimes you got to dodge some of the noise and some of the static crashes, but otherwise it's generally a great band, especially in the evenings there, Mike. Go ahead. Again, you'd be surprised what a piece of wire would do. I know people can do quite well with end feds and off-center feds. We run a 40-meter dipole is all we have, so it's nothing real special. It's about 38 foot off the side of the tower, and it seems to work well for us. But you know, a good little piece of wire in the right configuration, and you'll be a big signal in Tennessee no time there, Roger.
Yeah, I'm looking for a portable take on rotary.
Yeah, you know, that's okay too. We've run a couple of those in the last couple of years. We've got a couple of portable antennas we take with us. We've got one that'll work 10 to 40 meters and has been working out pretty well for us. We do have a hard time beating this antenna here at the QTH, but you know, you usually can take something like that on the road. But you know, getting on the air is the main thing there, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, right now I'm just running
Well, like I said, in the clear, you're doing just fine. We've had some stations off and on right below us. I guess they didn't know we were up here or something, so we've kind of had to deal with that. But no problems hearing you in the clear. It just kind of works itself back and forth. Roger?
I appreciate it. What's your call?
Yeah, the call here again is Kilowatt 0. Radio Whiskey Bravo, K0 RWB, red, white, and blue. Roger?
Roger that, K0
All right, Mike, thanks for giving us a shout there. Thanks for stopping in with us. Kilo Lima 0, Charlie Papa, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3. QRZ, any other stations? I think that I heard one earlier, a Kilo 4 station. If you're still in there, give me your complete call, please.
Yes,
Kilo Oscar 4, Foxtrot Hotel, K04 FA. Good afternoon.
Mexico, Juliet, Florida.
Yeah, the Kilo Oscar 4, stand by 1 second. The Kilo 4, give me your call again.
Yes, sir. It's Kilowatt 4, Mexico, Juliet, Florida, K4MJF.
Okay, Mike got you there as well. The Kilo Oscar 4 kind of jumped there, but that's all right. We'll try to grab everybody here if we can here. No problems. Thank you for giving us a call. Again, the name here is Randy, QTH, 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. And I will say that Tennessee is very well represented this evening there. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Good evening, Randy. Yeah, you're sounding great up here in Tennessee. I'm about 35 miles southwest of Knoxville in a little town that's Lenoir City, Tennessee is where I'm at. And you're really sounding good down here. I just been listening to you talk to some of these other people, and then like the other fella in Chucky, any kind of antenna will work. I've got a in-fed antenna is what I'm using, and evidently it seems to be doing the job.
Yeah, you sound really good here in the receive. If you're in, I think you said Lenoir City, that would put you south of Eaton there, Roger?
Yes, sir. That is true. Yes, sir.
I bet you didn't think I knew that, did you?
I'll tell you what, Randy, most people don't know where Lenoir City is, but it's not the end of the world, but you can see it from there. QSL?
Oh, I thought I was at the end of the world. I've got one stop sign here in town, but you don't have to stop because we don't have any traffic, so I guess we're covered there as well, Roger?
Roger. How are you, my friend? Listen, I know you got a lot of people who want to talk to you this evening. Just wanted to stop by, say hello to you. I was looking at your QRZ page earlier, and for some reason I've talked to you before, but I don't have you in my log, but I'll make sure you get in the log this time anyway. So thanks again, Randy. I really appreciate the getting a chance to talk to you and the conversation, sir.
Well, no, my pleasure as well. I was just going to say, we've got your page pulled up. You've got some great pictures here, and I like how you've got the antenna positioned there on the side of the house. I would have never thought about doing that, but no, that's great. I would have thought so too. I've still got your page scrolling across the top of the screen here, but I would have thought that we would have had one as well. I don't see one, which is really kind of odd. I thought we would have worked before, but hey, there's always a first time, Roger.
Yes, sir. That is very true. Like I said, I looked down through your page, and I recognized a lot of the pictures. I don't know if I've heard you somewhere in here before, maybe during a contest or something, which I think that's probably what it was. But either the this just happened, the Fire Prevention Week, or 13 Colonies, or one of the other ones that's been around here in this last little bit. But I have heard your call. I've got it written down here somewhere. I usually write down when other people get in there, and as well as myself. But like I said, I know I've heard that call before. But anyway, Randy, it has been a real pleasure, sir. And hope you and the family are doing well, sir.
Yeah, you do the best you can day in and day out. And I'd have to say, so far, we could always do better, but you could always do worse. So we'll just keep plugging along. Yeah, it's very odd that, you run across somebody and you go, why don't we have a contact? It's hard to say. By the way, the audio is just really, I like the word of the day. I try to pick one every day. The word of the day is impeccable. So your audio is impeccable tonight. Sounds really good, even with the noise around there. No big problems. If you've been copying the mail, we are live on YouTube. Give a look and a listen. Go to my channel. We've got a link on our QRZ page, or go to YouTube. Just put in my call and look for today's video. We've been out here for a while, so you could fast forward to about an hour 50. Give or take, but I would like for you to listen to your audio. It's really, really good.
Okay, Randy, thank you very much. I'll do that. I've been curious. I've been working on the audio a little bit. I found a YouTube video for the 991, which is the radio that I have. I've got the FT991, and I'm using the IO headset. And I set the audio up the way they said to, and I had talked to another fellow, and I can't remember his call right off the top of my head, but he and I talked at length one evening, and he had me adjust the mic gain and the processor just a little bit. I'm trying to think. I'm sorry. Anyway, but he had me adjust the processor in this thing as well, the mic processor. So I'm kind of curious as to how it sounds. He told me it sounds a lot better beforehand. It was very bassy, so I'll have to do that and check that out. All right, my friend. Take care. God bless you. And thanks again, Randy. Really appreciate it. I hope you and the family do well and stay well, my friend, and we'll look to talk to you again down the line. K0, red, white, and blue, K4, MJF, 73. My friend.
Yeah, no problem, Mike. Hey, listen, by the way, if you go to the channel, we're able to put our radio display on the channel. We have an FTDX10. So what I'd like for you to do is just watch the oscilloscope, and you can actually see your audio spectrum. You can see the peaks and valleys. That'll give you a really good indication of how it sounds on the air. I don't think you're going to get much better on a recording than you are doing it this way. So give a look and a listen. The downside, there's a webcam pointed at me, so you get to see my smiley face. That's the worst part of it. But give a look and a listen and see what you think. We always like to see what people think, get some input. Hopefully it can benefit people. I think it sounds great, but you be the judge. Nobody knows your voice as good as you. Take care. By all means, come back anytime. Since it seems like we've worked each other, now we can say we have. 4 contacts on my log, and you become a regular, so you got 3 more to go. So, and we throw confetti, you have a great time. Be safe and be well yourself. Enjoy the rest of your evening. By all means, look for us again. Kilo 4, Mike Juliet Foxtrot, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3s.
Whiskey 9, Romeo 0, Romeo.
Yeah, okay, Bob, hang on 1 second. I had a Kilo Oscar 4 station in there. If you're still there, give me the rest of your call, if you would, please. The Kilo Oscar 4 station, are you still there? Well, I guess he left. It kind of happens. We didn't mean for that to work out that way. Good, Bob. Hey, good evening. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, hello, Randy. I was surprised I could get through the pile up here. I was wondering if the antenna was still working. We had a big storm went through here, and it took down the trees at my antennas. One leg of my antenna side, too. So it went down pretty close to the ground over.
Wow, I don't have any trouble with you. You're 10 over here, and the audio is just as bright and loud as it always is. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully that was the worst of it, that you didn't have anything else. We had rain for the last 24, but no severe weather that came with it. It was just kind of a quiet rain and a little rumble in the beginning, but otherwise it's fine. So hopefully it didn't do any more damage for you?
Oh, no. This was an old apple tree. It's been here since, well, we've been here since 1967, and it was a big tree then. So it was getting bad, and we knew one of these days it would go. The only thing, it's going to be a hell of a mess to clean up, over.
Well, if I remember right, you mentioned before when we were running portable that you've got a couple of youngins. I'd be making a phone call.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a great help. In fact, a couple of them, they burn wood at home in the wintertime. And that'll make some good fireplace wood there. But I'll have to we'll take care of the brush and all that. So, oh no, I won't do it, over.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I would be the foreman type and just start pointing and pointing, put it here and take it there. That's the kind of thing I'd be doing.
Oh, yeah. And that old tree was just loaded with apples this year. Of course, it weren't much good. A lot of worms and whatever in them, but yeah, it finally come down, and we'll see better in the morning. It was dark when it come down, over.
Oh, so was it a lightning strike or just bad wind?
Oh, just wind. Boy, I don't know how hard it was blowing, but it come right out of the south. And really blowing, over.
Yeah, that's too bad. I had a note earlier, I think it was from Arizona, that had some wind gusts of around 60 miles an hour. And, I've been through those a couple of times, and that's not any fun.
Yeah, I would say it was 50 or 60. Of course, like I said, this old tree was in pretty bad shape the way it was, so it didn't take a whole bunch here. But at least the old rig's still working here. I was wondering, the SWR is still flat, so I guess it didn't hurt nothing, over.
Yeah, that's good. No, if you wouldn't have told me, I would have never guessed you had any an antenna issue or anything. It just sounds like you, day in and day out, same signal, same audio, and glad to see that the SWRs haven't moved on you. So it sounds to me like you did okay.
Oh yeah, we come through it all right there.
In fact, we just plugged the radio back in here because the storms got over with. So, well, good to hear you, Randy. We'll let you go and make a few more. I know there's a bunch in the wings there. So K0 RWB. We got it right again. W9RZR.
Hey, always a pleasure. I'm glad you took a minute or two to stop in. I'm glad to hear that things didn't get any worse. It's unfortunate that the tree had to go, but luckily nothing else. Apparently, you seem to say that nothing else had got any worse for wear. So hopefully it stays that way. So always nice to hear you. Of course, we kind of know when you're out there now. We certainly we know the voice now. So we know when you call, we know exactly who it is. So always look forward to hearing you. So when we're out here, I know you always seem to grab us. So that's great. Enjoy the rest of the night. Hopefully the storms are over for you. We'll hope to be out here tomorrow night. So if you've got any updates in the daylight of what happened tonight, by all means, take a minute or two and give us a call and give us some updates. Hopefully it's no worse for wear. So thank you again, Bob. Always a pleasure. We'll talk to you again real soon. Whiskey 9, Radio Zulu Radio, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you, Bob. 7-3s.
7-3, Randy. We'll do that. We're clear.
All right, 7-3s. K0 RWB, Randy in Kansas City, QRZ. Any other stations, please?
Whiskey 0, Whiskey Bravo, India X-Ray Juliet.
X-Ray Juliet, standby 1. The Whiskey 0 Tango, question mark? I got the Whiskey 0. Give me the suffix, please. Whiskey 0, Echo, Bravo, November. Don, good evening. Well, you know, I've had good nights and bad nights, Don. This has kind of been one of those in-betweens because there have been some storms in the area. Up north of us, we had some roll in earlier today, so we're getting a little bit of noise here and there. We've got a couple of little stations below us, some QSB coming across, but, you know, by and large, it's doing okay. But, hey, that's the first one from Kentucky tonight. Tennessee's been well representative, but we finally got into Kentucky there. Go ahead.
Yeah, WFD4IXJ, Central Kentucky, on 100 watts of the wire here, and you're good and loud and clear here. The weather's sticky, so back to you.
Yeah, stand by, Whiskey Bravo 4. I got another station I'm with you. I'll get with you in a second. Hey, Don, real quick, did you have any storms that come through out there? Did you guys get past them? Okay, then you're probably going to get what we had. We were fortunate. We've had rain, but we didn't have any bad weather that came with it, thank goodness. And did just talk to Bob a little bit north of us, and he had some wind that came in and took a tree down, but other than that, he thinks okay. I'm hoping that nobody else has anything worse than that there, Roger. Yeah, I'm thinking, where was this weather at about 6 weeks ago? You know, we really could have used it end of August, you know, middle part of August time frame. It disappeared, but now it's showing up right and left. It must be the change of seasons there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. Yeah, definitely. But I'll go ahead and say 73 to you so you can make some more calls. I know you got people waiting on the frequency here for you.
Well, Don, hey, thanks for taking the time to stop in and say hi. Appreciate it. This looks like number 3 contact. You know, when we get 4 contacts, you become a regular. So we throw the confetti and everything else. So we've got one more to go. So by all means, look for us again And nice to hear you this evening. It looks like it's been a while, probably because of me, not because of you. We've had some issues of getting some time in the shack, but we're here tonight. Thank you again. Always nice to hear you. Thank you for Kentucky. Nice to know Kentucky's represented tonight as well. So by all means, we'll say 7-3s are now, and we'll look for you again. Whiskey Zero, Echo Bravo November, Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you, 7-3s. Okay, sounds great, Don. You take care. 7-3s. We'll go ahead and clear with him. The Whiskey Bravo's 4 station, you were there a while ago. Give me the rest of your call, if you would, please. Okay, Whiskey Bravo 4, India X-Ray Juliet, I believe. Is that Carl? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. My apologies for stepping on that other gentleman. You said Kentucky, and I mistook that for my cue.
Oh, not a problem at all. That's just the way it works. You know, again, 40-meter band is never perfect, so sometimes you can't hear them and so forth. No harm, no foul. We're just glad to have you. Again, the name here is Randy, the QTH. We're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri, and we've got the old stream up, so we're actually live here on YouTube as well. There, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Remind me of your YouTube channel. Is this... I'm not going to try to guess. What's the net?
The channel is my call, K0RWB, Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo is the name of the channel. And we were very fortunate. We got to work, 3 or 4 or 5 days ago, whatever it was. Always glad to have you back in there again. So there for a while, it was Tennessee. Now we're getting Kentucky. So this tells me the band is getting better.
To find your YouTube channel. That's why I asked.
Well, yeah, I appreciate that. To me personally, it's easier to find it. I've got a link on my QRZ page because most people go to QRZ to look people up and so forth. Makes things a little faster. So we put a link on it, and that takes you right to the page or to the channel, or you can go right to YouTube and into the search bar and type in my call sign. But either one of those work. We've been really fortunate. We got out here a little earlier than usual, so we've got a little extra time. We got a few more quarters to put in the machine, and then we'll be shutting her down. But we've had a great time so far tonight, and lots of good stations out there. A little bit of traffic and noise with the band, but hey, all in all, it's been really good there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have trouble getting on that QRZ page. I guess I've got outdated software on my Apple, and Google claims that that particular website is evil and insecure or unsecure and whatnot. To get in there.
Oh, that's too bad. I've never heard of that. I guess it's possible. I don't know if QRZ is evil or not. Maybe some might think so, but that's really unfortunate. So yeah, I guess it'd be probably a little easier, simpler for you just to go right to YouTube. And yeah, like I said, we've been, let's see, and this is 2 hours and 8 minutes so far that we've been streaming live. We just had a great time, and we've got a bunch of brand new operators we haven't talked to before, and a whole lot of repeaters, which is also a lot of fun. So all in all, it's been a great night. Just, how the band is on 40. It can be up and down, but it's been holding pretty good so far.
Yeah, last 9 or 10 days, 40's been sort of sluggish, but one night I was sweeping the band and I heard a CQ and answered it, and to my complete flabbergastment, it was Slovakia.
On 40 meters?
On 40 meters.
Wow, that's incredible. And I take it you had a QSO then?
Yeah, I need to clarify it on QSO, but I can't get in there.
Oh, no. Oh, that's too bad. Well, we spent a little time earlier this afternoon. 15 has been open, so we had a little bit of activity on 15, even a little bit on 12. We couldn't do anything on 10. I heard 10 was open, and of course 17 had some activity, and so did 20. So I'd like to think that, again, I think the Sun Cycle 25 has been up and down. We're getting that change of season. I'd like to think it's going to get a little better as the time goes on. I'm not complaining. I think it's great what we're getting now, but if it gets even better, I think that's great for everybody.
Yeah, all I've got right now is a little homebrew dipole that's up in a tree. But my buddy and I are going to put up a end-fed random wire, and I managed to get a limb that was up considerably higher than the other one. So when we get that one going, I'll be multi-band, but I'm limited to 40 right now.
Yeah, well, I'm not different. I'm much different. I'm 40. We just got a 40-meter dipole here on the side of the tower. It does seem to do a pretty good job for us, so we're just going to leave it alone. I have a feeling if I moved it or touched it, then yeah, I'd probably mess it up. So I'm leaving it alone. So that's the only limitation. We had an 80-meter dipole as well. We took it down a month or two ago to do some work on it and haven't got it back in the air yet. So, and then 6 through 20, we run our hex beam, which is resonant on all the bands. So we just kind of flip and go, which is kind of nice. But I do like 40 meters here in the evenings. It's always been really good and just a great time out here, Roger.
Yeah, this little antenna is only 17 feet off the ground because I've gotten old and rickety and trying to throw things for a slingshot was tough, so I accepted the one branch. And then only 17 feet off the ground, I'm still averaging skip on 40 meters of about 600 to 800 miles.
Yeah, you can't beat that. That's great. And again, we're not that far apart. The logger's showing 525 miles straight line. But again, the signal is solid. It's 5.9, sometimes a little over. And of course, the audio is there. So yeah, if you can go higher, it's always best. But if not, it's doing its job.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how use is. There was another tree branch right next to the shack that was considerably higher, and I fussed all morning trying to get a messenger line over the top of it, and my nephew came over and he grabbed it with his hand, and he just stood back and threw it like a baseball and got it on the first shot.
Oh gosh, isn't that always the way? I've tried lots of stuff. I've tried the little wrist slingshot. I've tried a softball with tape and a small rope around it to throw up into a tree. I've tried a fishing pole with the on the end, and never had much luck. Well, I think that's great. It must be a pitcher at heart.
Yeah, I'll have to pick a tree on the other end of the antenna. Next time he comes back, I'll say, "Hey, Zach, try her again."
There you go. And hopefully the leaves will be gone to be an easier shot.
I didn't think about that.
Oh yeah. See, I'm always, every once in a while I have a great thought. And sometimes I can't follow through with it, but every once in a while I have a good one.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to making it out to the West Coast, and so I can work all the states on this new radio.
Yeah, I think that's great. Good for you. And especially on these bands, altitude is our friend, but I know a lot of people have limitations with HROs or just, the but logistical areas and geographic area. We're fortunate we live in the country, and, we don't have neighbors that close by. We don't try to be overbearing and cause this big, gaudy looking thing. We've got trees around us that help hide a few things, whatever. But, again, we just threw it up, and it seemed to work at the time, and it just continued to work. And, I'd like to go another 10 feet higher. I'm just afraid to do it and mess things up, so I'm leaving mine alone.
If it works, don't fix it. Yeah, I've got room for 160 meters, but I got to figure out how to get it up good and high. There's a tree surgeon that said he'd send a messenger up, but he wants $100 a tree, and with 160 meters, that'd be 3 trees.
I think I'd find somebody who's accurate throwing. I would try that.
That's a better idea.
Yeah, it's probably a lot cheaper too. I mean, that could cost you what? Either a soda or maybe lunch.
Or a beer.
Or okay, that too. I didn't think of that part, but yeah, that would work.
Yeah. Well, I'm not much of a rack tourist, so maybe I ought to turn you over to the next gentleman.
Well, I've got 1 quarter left for the machine. That, and I got a tap on the shoulder. That's the first cue. We get 2 taps, and if we don't answer that, then the third one's a slap upside the head. That's only happened once. I don't recommend it. So it's a combination of things. So I've got another quarter to put in the machine. We'll have time for another call, and that'll probably be it. But hey, that's okay. It's just the way it works out, which is fine. And another contact in Kentucky. I'm glad to hear it. So I'm all for it.
Okie dokie. Well, this is WV4IXJ Claire 73.
Well, thank you so much, Carl. Nice to hear you. And thank you for coming back again and having a chat with us. Appreciate it. You're halfway there, my friend. If you haven't heard 4 contacts on my log, you become a regular. So we start throwing confetti and having a big party. Sometimes they show up. Most time they don't. But at least we have the party. So we're halfway there. Feel free to come back anytime. The signal's great. I love the audio as well, and a good signal. So 7-3s. Whiskey Bravo 4, India X-Ray Juliet, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. 7-3s. Okay, we got time for one more call. QRZ, any other stations, please?
Kilo November 4, Yankee Bravo Alpha.
The Kilo November 4, something ended in Alpha.
Roger, Kilo November 4, Yankee Bravo Alpha. It's Randy in Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay, there's Randy. Got you that time. Kilo November 4, Yankee Bravo Alpha. Thanks so much. Kind of just came across everybody else here. Good signal. Again, the name here is Randy as well. The QTH 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri, and we're also out here live streaming on YouTube tonight. Go ahead.
Roger that. Yeah, you're doing a good 5-9 plus here in Alabama this evening.
Well, I appreciate that. Looks like it shows that you're in the Huntsville area. First one we've had tonight in Alabama. So maybe the band is coming around a little bit more short. We've had some on the East Coast. A lot of the northern central U.S. stations, Kentucky and Indiana, Tennessee is well represented, but you're the first one in Alabama tonight there, Roger.
Roger that. Yeah, the band's been kind of active today. I'm success on 10 meters and 12 meters and 17 meters today. I think it was Italy.
Yeah, the same way here. We didn't have any luck on 10 meters. We did have a little activity on 15 and 12, as I was talking to the station earlier, and then, of course, 17 and 20 was pretty active. So that's very encouraging, that the bands are good. Of course, I think we've had a lot of weather in the area, too, so I'm just wondering if maybe that would have helped us a little bit. Of course, it doesn't help us a lot here on 40 meters with the static crashes and so forth, but it is what it is. But yeah, it's nice to hear that the bands are open a little bit. I'd like to get a little more activity on 10 at my QTH, but you take it for what you got there, Roger.
Yeah, when you're talking about an HOA, I live in that world. I have an HOA, so I had to build inverted D horse fence in my attic, and I run over from 160 meters all the way down to 6 meters over.
Oh, yeah, Roger. Well, it's doing okay for you. I meant to ask you, is that a 6400 or a 6400M?
It's a 6400.
Okay, so that's the model that does not have the display then, correct?
Yeah, and I ordered the Maestro, and I back ordered, but I realized I went to sell each of the condo, and I love using the laptop more, and I bought a new Dell tablet laptop, and I don't look back. I love that thing, doing remote.
Yeah, I got you there. That makes a lot of sense. We've certainly given it some thought on the 6400 series. Haven't pulled the trigger yet. We're doing some more homework and a little more research. You never know. We could get on the air one day and have a flex here in the shack. A good friend of ours down in Florida, Alex, Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform, has a recent purchase of the 6400M, and he seemed to like it quite well. So we decided to do a little homework with it, and we did like the way his looked and sounded. So we may see what might happen for us there, Roger.
Yeah, I'm not looking back. I have an FT991A I started off with, and I love the radio, but this one here gives you so much more visibility to the whole band that I'm not looking back. And my background's computers, and I love the way this operates.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. Again, I like the whole premise behind the Flex radios and what they came out with, and it's just amazing, how they have evolved through the different series and how things have changed with them. I think it's great. I mean, all things being equal, a 6600, would be great, but it's a little bit of a pinch in the pocketbook, so we have to think more, got to think more realistically, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. I got a wife that watches mine real close, and I was lucky enough she got me to buy it in May, so I'm just not looking back. I'm very pleased with the Flex.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I've had many operators that said the wife knows the value of about half of what it actually is, and I just as soon whenever I have to talk dollars and cents, I usually close the door to the shack. That way she doesn't hear any of it there, Roger.
I try to sell it to her that I buy it for the home, and she doesn't understand. I said, because it keeps me at home, it keeps me out of the bars, so that's how I try to sell it.
Well, yeah, it's just basically it's just a PC that you can talk on. That's what it really is, and that makes sense for anybody.
Roger that. All technology's on voice over IP. This is the same thing. Work through the land. I can sit back in my bedroom and do the same thing I do here. Do it at the beach, and at the exact same results over.
Yeah, that's great. It's amazing the number and the different type of excuses that we can come up with for newer and more equipment. So, it never fails. We're always coming up with new angles. At least I am there, Roger.
Roger that. I love that Yahoo 991A, but I have had problems with it. It's still back at the factory for warranty. I've sent it back 2 times for the USB going out, and when I get it back, it's still totally due to VHF. I'm looking at the what they call it, the MSJ server that you can hook it up, and I'm thinking about hooking that up to my 991A and do it remotely.
Yeah, well, that's too bad. That's really the first any issue I've heard about the 991. It's a terrific radio, I think. We've got a Yaesu. What we're running now is a Yaesu FTDX10. We got this one in February, and we liked it so much we bought another one in I think it was either June or July, and we have that in our shack downstairs. We have our friend named them. We have Studio A and Studio B. We're currently in Studio A. With the shack is next to the wife's office, so when she has conference calls and those kind of things and Zoom calls, we don't want to make any noise, so then we go to the alternate shack. So we've got the FTDX10. It doesn't have the 2 meters and 77 meters, of course, but we do kind of miss that a little bit. But the 991 is a great portable rig, and it's a great rig that'll work quite well in a home shack. Unfortunately, you had some issues. We did it with this one as well. Had it for about 2.5 months, and the PA went out of it, and we sent it to California, and they did repair it and got it back in about 5 weeks, which was nice. But hopefully you've got your issues resolved. I think we've got ours done as well, Roger.
Yeah, mine's back in California. It's been there for 4 weeks now, and COVID delays it 10 days. And I think the last time it took 8 weeks to get it back. I had my Rig Pi all set up, ready, and that's when I figured out the USB was out on my 991A. So I haven't actually been able to try it with a radio over.
Yeah, that's too bad. Well, hopefully it's going to be worth the wait. I was very fortunate. The technician that was working on my radio, it had a lot of communication between the two of us. It really did kind of keep me in the loop. It did tell me up front it was going to be a while because of COVID and so forth. And I said, hey, I have another radio. Don't half fix it, and I get it 10 days later and it broke again. I said, just keep it and fix it right. And I think he was kind of surprised by that statement. So he did call a couple of times, to give me updates. And, like I said, it took roughly 5 weeks, which was totally fine. And it's been working well ever since. So hopefully it won't take you quite that long, but I hope they fix it good for you.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything back like the last time, but they did communicate with me.
just concerned because it's a whole motherboard they have to replace out, and I hope this chip doesn't impact, the shortage of chips doesn't impact that motherboard over.
Yeah, again, you know, I know on this rig it has a 3-year warranty. I don't know what it has on the 991. And, you know, I thought once if it got so bad, they would just ship another one. They were able to do it. You know, he told me exactly what happened, what took place, what had to be replaced, and what they did to fix it. So, you know, you'd like to think that, you know, we don't have those issues, but, you know, they're made by humans. We make mistakes. Parts can be defective and they not know it and so forth. You know, have them fix it and fix it right, get it back, and hope you never have an issue with it again.
Roger that. I have this Flex. I'm no hurry for it. I just look forward to get it back. I don't want to rush them. I want it done right the first time. And I think it's a bad batch of motherboards is what the problem was, over.
Yeah, I have heard that as well on some of the other machines. Because, you know, amateur radio, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So you have the backup, which, you know, I think a lot of us do, and some even have more than that. So, I mean, you know, it could be worse. I mean, you're operating a 6400. I mean, a lot of people aspire to get one of those, and, you know, so I'd say you're doing good. You're on the air. You got a good signal here in my receive, so it's not much of a downside other than, you know, you've got another radio you're waiting to get back in your hands. But, yeah, if they fix it right, you never hear from them again, I think that's a great thing.
Roger that. You know, with the Flex, I have all these mixers hooked up, mic mixers, audio mixers. Everything's integrated in my shack. I don't have the nerve to tell my wife, you know, my laptop, I can just use a headset and do everything I do here in the shack as well.
Yeah, that's true. You do have a little bit of flexibility. That's a good thing as well. So, well, I'm really surprised that, you know, with that kind of a signal that we haven't worked before. Maybe it's just timing. Could be the key, more than likely on my side. We've been in your part of the country. You've been over to Scottsboro quite a bit, in Gunnersville the last year or so, and driven through Huntsville and so forth. So we know the area. It's not really that far for us, you know, about an 8 or 9 hour drive, which isn't terribly bad. But we did enjoy the northern part of Alabama. So we're going to shut her down here, but didn't want to get back for one more call. And Randy, appreciate you being the last one for us this evening. Again, a new a first contact this evening for Alabama, so we appreciate that as well. We do try to get out here around 7 o'clock Central here in the evening, so if you hear us again, by all means, give us a call back. We'll just kind of pick it up where we left off. Hopefully the next time we talk, or thereabouts close, you'll have your 991 back, but by all means, feel free to give us an update to see how things are going. Hopefully you'll get it back sooner than later. Hey, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for taking the time to give us a call. Again, we're live here on YouTube. If you're interested in seeing, listening to our QSO, you can go to YouTube, put in my call, K0RWB or QRZ. I have a link that does it as well. Give a look and a listen and see what you think. You and yours be safe, be well, enjoy your evening. We'll say 7-3s. Kilo November 4, Yankee Bravo Alpha, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, Randy. 7-3s.
Roger that, Randy. Good talking to you. Have a great evening. I also have a website, YouTube, and KN4YDA, to how I kind of document my progress with my system. Good talking to you, Randy. 7-3.
Well, thanks for the info, Randy. I appreciate that. We'll give a look at it very well. Yeah, take care, my friend. And like he said, come back anytime. Nice to hear you out of Alabama. 7-3s. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. We're going